Look, let me paint you a picture. It's the year 1387. I'm 14 years old, standing in some creepy dark forest with 100 soldiers, about to fight bandits. And I'm thinking one thing. When I get back, the Shun family is dead to me. Here's the backstory. I'm not even supposed to be here. In the Ming Dynasty, you only gotta serve in the army if your family has military registration. My family. Not military. But the local garrison needed fresh meat. I mean, new recruits. And some absolute scumbag named Shun forged my papers. Bumped my age up to 16. Shoved me into the army. I'm 14. I look like a scholar who got lost on the way to a poetry reading. And now I'm holding a bow in a forest full of people who want to stab me. Welcome to the Hangwu era, everybody, where life is cheap and the emperor kills officials for fun. Our commanding officer, a 100-man commander, is barking orders. Old soldiers up front, new soldiers in back. These bandits are no joke. An old veteran next to me, old Zhang, pats my shoulder. Hey kid, first time's always scary. Just point your arrow at a bandit's forehead and shoot. Every kill is a merit point. I'm fine, I say, trying to sound tough while my hands are literally shaking. We push deeper into the forest, and suddenly I see it. A whole bandit village. Thatched huts, wooden fences, barricades. These guys built a whole neighborhood in here. And the second we get close, the army's here. Brothers, grab your weapons. Kill these imperial dogs. Arrows come flying out of nowhere. Several of our guys get hit immediately. Arrows through arms, through legs, blood everywhere. Screaming fills the forest. My internal monologue at this point. I am going to haunt the Shun family, as a ghost. Archers, our commander screams. That's my cue. Me and 29 other Bao guys pull back and let loose a volley. Arrows rain down on the bandits. Their archers drop like ragdolls. Spearmen with me. Charge. 70 soldiers rush forward with spears. And here's the thing about spears versus swords. Reach wins. Every time. Our guys in armor with long spears against bandits in rags with short blades? It's a massacre. But me? I'm in the back, doing my archer thing. I lock onto one bandit, pull my bow back with everything I've got, and THWIP arrow goes straight through the dude's throat. He drops. He twitches. He stops. My first kill. And then I hear it. Killed one Tartar. Picked up 20 strength points. I'm sorry, what? My arms suddenly feel stronger. Like I just drank a protein shake mixed by God himself. Is this my cheat code? Listen, I've been reborn in this Ming Dynasty hellscape for 6 years. 6 years of waiting, hoping, praying that maybe, just maybe, I'd get some kind of golden finger power like every other transmigrator. 6 years of nothing. And now, right here, in the middle of a bloody forest battle, now it activates? You couldn't have given me this when I was, I don't know, not being shot at. But okay. Okay. Let me process this. Kill enemy, pick up stat points, get stronger. That means this army gig that was supposed to be my death sentence. That is actually the greatest opportunity of my life. The Shin family tried to get me killed by throwing me into the military. Instead, they accidentally handed me an infinite power grinder. Shin family, I thought, grinning like an absolute maniac in the middle of a battle. I should send you a thank you card. I grab another arrow. Lock onto bandit number 2. And this time, pulling the bow feels easier. 20 extra strength points, baby. THWIP arrow punches clean through another bandit. Killed one Tartar. Picked up 20 strength points. Yeah. We're in business now. Also, these aren't just random bandits. This is Daning Prefecture, right on the border with the Jurchen territories. These, mountain bandits, are actually Jurchen raiders pretending to be locals. I'm not just grinding stats. I'm grinding stats on foreign invaders. This is the most patriotic power leveling session in history. Meanwhile, the bandit boss is going berserk. He's cutting down our soldiers left and right, swinging his big sword like he's auditioning for a kung fu movie. He chops one soldier, then another. The guy is genuinely terrifying. Kill their commander, the bandit boss screams, charging straight at our 100-man commander. And I'm standing here in the back, knocking another arrow, thinking, keep fighting, boys. Every single one of you is an EXP piñata, and I just found the stick. The bandit boss is charging at our commander Lu Lei like a freight train with anger issues. Lu Lei blocks the first strike and immediately goes, wait, you're not a normal bandit. Because yeah, This guy fights like he went to murder school. Trained, precise, absolutely terrifying. Lu Lei tries to fight back, but this bandit boss is built like a refrigerator made of hate. One kick and Lu Lei is on the ground. The boss raises his blade, grinning like a psychopath, ready to chop our commander into pieces. Lu Lei's thinking, well, this is how I die. But guess who's in the back with a bow? That's right, your boy. THWIP arrow one punches through the bandit boss's chest. He staggers. He's hurt, but not dead. This absolute unit starts charging at Lu Lei again, with an arrow sticking out of him, like it's a fashion accessory. THWIP arrow 2 goes straight through his heart. Clean hit. Perfect shot. The bandit boss drops his sword and falls backward like a chopped tree. But is he really dead, though? I run up, pull out my saber, and chop head comes off. Now he's dead. Killed Tartar Centurion. Picked up 20 all stats. First officer kill bonus. 1 normal treasure chest. Cool. Amazing. Wonderful. But also, I just decapitated a man and his blood is all over my face, and I am not handling it well. Oh God, my stomach does a full gymnastics routine. I'm standing there covered in blood, trying very hard not to throw up in front of 100 soldiers. Commander Lu Lei looks at me, the kid who just saved his life but is now turning green, and laughs. Rookies, he says, shaking his head. After the battle wraps up, a squad leader reports in, 48 bandits killed, 4 of our soldiers dead, a dozen wounded. Standard cleanup. Lu Lei walks over to me personally. What's your name, kid? Zhuang, sir. Less than 2 months in service. Yeah, I can tell you're new, he says, grinning. Then he puts his hand on my shoulder. Those 2 arrows saved my life. If you ever need anything in the army, come find me. Hello. I just got a patron. 100-man commander owes me his life. That's basically a VIP membership card for the military. Now go help clean up the bodies, he says. Yes, SIR. Now here's where things get really interesting. I'm walking toward the dead bandits, and I'm thinking, let me check my stat panel real quick. I focus my mind and boom, there it is. Host. Zhuang age. 13. Yeah, not even 14. The Shin family didn't even get my fake age right. Strength. 180. 1 point equals 1 gene of force. Speed. 140 constitution. 95 endurance. 88 spirit. 87 lifespan. 88 years storage space. 1 cubic meter, all those kills earlier? Every single stat point got added to my base. This is real. This is not a dream. I have a full RPG character sheet inside my brain. But then I see it. Lifespan. Wait, can I pick up lifespan too? Does that mean I can live forever? My hand touches the first dead bandit on the ground. Picked up 5 constitution points. Bodies drop loot too? I touch the next one. Picked up 5 days of lifespan. I can literally pick up extra years of life from corpses. Do you understand what this means? Every emperor in Chinese history spent fortunes trying to find the elixir of immortality. They drank mercury, ate weird pills, hired frauds. And here I am, a 13-year-old fake soldier, getting immortality by touching dead people like some kind of morbid tag game. Shin family, thank you. Seriously, from the bottom of my heart, I start sprinting from body to body like a kid at an Easter egg hunt. Touch. 5 strength. Touch. 5 endurance. Touch. 5 days lifespan. Touch. 3 speed. Touch. 5 days lifespan. I'm zigzagging across the entire bandit camp, slapping every corpse I can find. The old soldiers are watching me with their jaws hanging open. Isn't that the rookie? Why is he running around touching all the bodies? Kid's got guts, I'll give him that. First time I've ever seen a newbie go looking for dead bodies. They all think I'm checking if the bandits are really dead. Like I'm some paranoid little maniac going around making sure nobody's faking it. Sure, let's go with that. Meanwhile, I'm over here playing corpse bingo and winning every round. After I finished my little corpse tag marathon, the soldiers buried all the bandits in a big pit. 40-something bodies, 1 hole. Efficient. Then a squad leader runs up to Commander Lu Lei, all excited. Sir, the bandits had a treasure room. We all follow him to the back of the camp. And sure enough, there's a whole room packed with chests. We're talking copper coins, silver, gold, jewelry. These bandits were running a bank back here. These dogs stole all this, Lu Lei says, genuinely shocked. Now, I see an opportunity here, so I open my mouth. Sir, I killed 5 of these guys today. They didn't fight like random bandits. They had real training. And their accent? That's not Ming Chinese. That sounded like Jurchen. Lu Lei nods. You're right. The moment I crossed blades with their boss, I knew. These weren't bandits. They were foreign raiders operating inside our borders. Then he waves his hand. Pack it all up. We're bringing it back to the county. This is above my pay grade. The 1,000-man commander needs to handle this one. All the soldiers are staring at the treasure with glowing eyes. You can practically see their thoughts. Just one tiny silver bar. Nobody would notice, but nope. This is the Hongwu era. Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang has a zero-tolerance policy on corruption. You steal military loot? Best case, your head leaves your body. Worst case, your entire family gets deleted. Nobody's touching anything. Nobody except me, of course, because I have a 1 cubic meter storage space inside my cheat system. I crouch down next to a chest, put one hand inside like I'm feeling the weight, put my other hand under the bottom. Just testing how heavy this is, I say with an innocent smile. Kid, you can't lift that alone, an old soldier laughs. I know. I've just never seen this much silver before. Meanwhile, inside my brain, K 100 taels of silver. Gone. Vanished into my invisible pocket dimension. Nobody saw anything. 100 taels. That's enough for a regular family to live comfortably for years. And I just vacuum sucked it into my interdimensional fanny pack while pretending to be a curious teenager. Don't be greedy, I tell myself. 100 taels is plenty. Walk away. Be cool. I stand up, dust off my knees. Act completely normal. We pack up everything and start the march back to the county seat, about 10 miles away. Just me and my invisible savings account, walking casually among 100 soldiers. Now, let me tell you about the Shin family and why they wanted me dead. Cut to Beiping Prefecture. The Shun family mansion. The richest family in northern China. Some people say they're richer than the national treasury. Their patriarch? Shen Wansan. The legendary, richest man of the Ming dynasty, Old Man Shun, is sitting in his fancy hall with all his sons around him. His eldest son, Shen Rong, is grinning like a snake. Father, it's done. The kid's been registered in the Daning military. His other son, Shun Wang, chimes in. Once you're in the military there, you can't leave until you're crippled or you've served 30 years. And Daning is a border region. Mongols, barbarian tribes, bandits everywhere. That boy is never coming back alive. Old Man Shin nods slowly. For the prosperity of our family, we had to sacrifice him. Now that he's in the military, our engagement with him is effectively void. See, here's the story. I was apparently engaged to one of Shun Wansan's daughters. Fourth daughter, Shun Yin. But the Shin family found a better match, a guy named Lu Hao. And who is Lu Hao? Oh, just the brother of the crown prince's secondary consort. The woman who basically runs the Eastern Palace, whose son is the crown prince's eldest, and who's probably going to become the actual empress one day. So the Shin family looked at their options. Option A, marry daughter to broke nobody named Zhu Ying. Option B, marry daughter to a guy connected to the future emperor. They picked B, obviously. Then they had me shipped off to die in the military, so I couldn't complain about it. Merchants. Everything is a transaction. Father, Shen Rong says, to make sure this Zhu Ying kid never comes back to cause problems. I think we should finish the job. Permanently. Old Man Shen pauses. Thinks for 1 second. Then nods. Do what you need to do. Take money from the family vault. Don't worry, Father. I'll handle it cleanly. No loose ends. This guy is ordering a hit on me. A 13-year-old LD, who he already exiled to a war zone, and he still doesn't feel safe enough. He wants me extra dead, premium dead, deluxe package dead. But then, the doors burst open. A beautiful girl in a light blue dress storms into the hall, face full of fury. Father, how could you do this to Brother Zhu Ying? This is Shen Yur, the Shin family's other daughter, not the fourth daughter who was engaged to me, a different one. And apparently the only person in this entire mansion with a functioning conscience. If you didn't want fourth sister to marry him, you could have just told him. Why did you have to send him to die? Shen Rong barely looks at her. Since when does a concubine's daughter get to speak in this hall? Get out. Old Man Shen doesn't even give her a glance. Leave. She's furious. She's heartbroken. She's worried about me. But she's a concubine's daughter. In this family, that means she has about as much authority as the furniture. So let me get this straight. The daughter who was actually engaged to me, thrilled to dump me for a prince's relative. Couldn't be happier. The daughter who wasn't engaged to me, storming into the family meeting, risking punishment, fighting for my life. The universe has a weird sense of humor. But hey, Shin family, keep plotting. Keep scheming. Keep sending assassins or whatever you're planning next. Because I'm over here touching dead bodies and getting stronger every single day. Your move. Meanwhile, in the imperial capital of Nanjing, the big boss himself is sitting on the dragon throne. I'm talking about Zhu Yuanzhang, the Zhu Yuanzhang, the guy who went from homeless orphan monk to emperor of China, the man who kills officials like other people eat breakfast. Even sitting still, this dude radiates the kind of energy that makes grown men forget how to breathe. He's just casually reading reports when his favorite person in the entire universe walks in, Crown Prince Zhu Biao. The only human being who can enter the throne room without being announced first. The only person who makes old Zhu Yuanzhang smile like a normal dad instead of a murder machine. Father, we've got a problem. Daning Prefecture is getting hammered by bandits. Over 100 incidents. They're robbing merchants, killing civilians. It's getting out of control. Zhu Yuanzhang's eyes go cold. Normal bandits don't coordinate like this. Someone's pulling strings. Could it be related to our planned invasion of the northern Yuan? Zhu Biao asks. Maybe they found out, and they're trying to cause chaos on our borders? Almost certainly. The old emperor's face could freeze a river. That Yuan brat still thinks he can fight us, and their general Naha Chu is gathering an army. I let that man go free once out of mercy. He repaid me by staying loyal to the Mongols. Lesson learned. Mercy was a mistake. Classic Zhu Yuanzhang energy right there. I've already ordered General Feng Sheng to start assembling troops. The emperor continues. You handle the supplies personally. I don't trust anyone else. We move on Naha Chu within months. Yes, father. And tell the Daning military commander to clean up every single bandit before Feng Sheng marches. If he can't do it, I want his head. Just a regular Tuesday conversation for the founding emperor of Ming Dynasty. Do the thing, or I take your head. Standard management technique. Then, right as Zhu Biao is about to leave, the terrifying emperor suddenly turns into a worried dad. Son, you work too hard. Please rest. Take care of yourself. I already lost your mother and little Xiongying. I can't lose you too. The most feared man in China just got emotional. His eyes are sad. His voice is soft. If anyone else saw this, they'd think they were hallucinating. Dad, I'm fine. I'm young. Let me carry some of the load for you. Just stay healthy. Please, if you're wondering why I'm narrating scenes I wasn't there for, look, news travels. And this stuff is important context for what happens next. Because that imperial order? Clean up all the bandits in Daning? That order is about to roll downhill like a boulder. From the emperor to the generals, from the generals to the commanders, from the commanders to guys like MY Boss. Which means more bandit hunts. Which means more dead bodies for me to touch. Which means more stat points. Thank you, Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang. Your paranoia is my protein. Back at camp, we're all standing in formation on the parade ground. Almost 1,000 soldiers, lined up in neat blocks of 100. Our garrison commander, 1,000-man Commander Wei Quan, is standing on the platform looking all official. Soldiers of Ansha Garrison, our campaign was a success. All bandits within 50 miles have been eliminated. Over 200 enemies killed. Every one of you contributed. Special recognition goes to the first 100-man company, who killed 48 bandits and recovered over a dozen chests of treasure. Then he pulls out a list of names. Outstanding soldiers, step forward for your rewards. First company, Lu Lei. First company, Zhuang, my name. Second on the list. Right after the commander. He reads 7 more names, but honestly, I stopped listening after mine. Now let me explain how military promotions work in the Ming Dynasty. It used to be hereditary. Your dad was an officer, you became an officer. But Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang killed that system back in year 15 of Hongwu. Now it's pure merit. Kill 5 enemies promoted to small banner leader, commands 10 men. Kill 10 enemies promoted to general banner leader, commands 50 men. Kill 100 or take out a major enemy promoted to 100-man commander, everything gets recorded. No cheating. No nepotism. Just bodies. Lu Lei, you led the first company with distinction. Awarded 100 taels of silver and 1 merit recorded. Zhuang, I snapped to attention. Here, SIR. You killed 5 enemies and took down the bandit leader. By Ming military merit law, you are hereby promoted to small banner leader, commanding 10 soldiers, and awarded 50 taels of silver. 50 taels on top of the 100 I already stole. I mean, legally acquired through creative inventory management. 2 months ago, I was a fake 16-year-old who got scammed into the army. Now I'm an officer with a salary and 10 guys under my command. The Shin family tried to bury me. Instead, they planted a seed. And right as I'm soaking this in, my stat panel flashes with a new notification. My panel flashes right as the ceremony ends. Promoted to small banner leader. Reward: 1 normal treasure chest. Another chest? I'm collecting these things like loyalty points at a noodle shop. Commander Wei Quan wraps things up and sends everyone back to the barracks. On the way, all the guys are crowding around me. Zhu Ying, you beast. First mission and you killed 5 plus the boss? You look like you'd lose a fight to a strong breeze, but you're out here decapitating bandit leaders. 2 months in the army and already an officer. Legend. I'm just smiling and nodding. Thanks, guys. Thanks, appreciate it. Meanwhile, my brain is screaming, open the treasure chests, open the treasure chests. Commander Lu Lei drops me off at my new post. These 10 recruits are yours now. You're their boss. I walk into the barracks and all 10 of my new soldiers are staring at me like I'm a school principal who just caught them cheating. They're terrified. 2 days ago, I was one of them. Now I'm their commanding officer. Relax, I say. I'm not going to eat you. Go do whatever you were doing. Rest up. We might have more bandit hunting soon. They scatter. Good. I flop onto my bed, close my eyes, and immediately pull up my stat panel. Host. Zhu Ying age. 13 strength. 190 speed. 156 constitution. 102 endurance. 101 spirit. 104 lifespan. 88 years. 32 days storage. 1 cubic meter, and then ding. All stats above 100. Reward: 1 normal treasure chest. So the system gives chests for milestones too? This thing has an achievement system? Let me break down what I've learned so far. Normal humans have stats around 80 to 100. Adult men who are fully grown sit around 100 in strength. I'm 13, so my base stats were a bit lower. But after today's harvest, my strength alone jumped by almost 100 points. That's like going from regular teenager to can arm wrestle a horse. Here's how the loot works. Killing a bandit gives a random 20-point drop in one stat. Touching corpses gives 1 to 5 points each, but lifespan drops from bodies are a bit more generous. Not bad for playing tag with dead people. Now, the main event. Open all treasure chests. 3 chests. 3 rewards. Let's go. Chest 1. Yellow grade upper cultivation method. Iron body technique. A cultivation method. A cultivation method. In my past life, these things only existed in novels. And now one just got downloaded directly into my brain like I'm a human USB drive. Iron body technique. Train for 1 full day, gain 10 strength, 10 constitution, 10 endurance. Effect decreases as stats get higher. Let me do the math real quick. 10 points in 3 stats per day. That's 30 stat points daily. In 10 days, that's 300. In 100 days, 3,000. In 1 year, that's over 10,000 stat points. 10,000. Even if I only train at night while everyone else sleeps, that's still thousands of points per year. At that rate, how long until I can punch through a city gate with my bare fist? A year? 2. And endurance. Thousands of points of endurance. I could. Let's just say I'd have the stamina to satisfy 100 women in one night. Not that that's my priority right now. Obviously. Revenge first. Harem later. Priorities. Chest 2. Fine steel saber. Nice. An upgrade from my standard issue military garbage sword. I'll take it. Chest 3. Horsemanship. Mastery level. This one is wild. The moment I extract it, the knowledge doesn't trickle in like the cultivation method. It slams into my brain like a finished download. I can suddenly ride a horse like I was born on one. Every technique, every trick, every combat maneuver on horseback. Complete mastery. I've never even sat on a horse in this life, and I now know more about riding than cavalry veterans with 20 years of experience. I lie on my bed, staring at the ceiling, grinning so hard my face hurts. Let's review. The Shin family's grand plan was to ship me off to die. Instead, I now have a stat harvesting system, a cultivation technique that'll make me superhuman within months, perfect horse riding skills, a fine steel weapon, 150 taels of silver, and a commanding officer who owes me his life. Oh, and some backstory I should probably explain. My grandmother saved Shen Wansan's entire family back in the day. That's literally why they became the richest merchants in China. Without Grandma, that old man would have died in a ditch. To repay this debt, a marriage was arranged between me and his fourth daughter. But then the Shun family found a better marriage prospect. Liu Hao, brother of the future empress, and suddenly I went from valued future son-in-law to inconvenient loose end that needs to die in a border war. If they just canceled the engagement like normal people, I would have been mad for a week and moved on. But no, they had to forge my papers, ship me to the most dangerous military zone in China, and try to get me killed. For that, no forgiveness. Ever. But not yet. Right now it's the 20th year of Hongwu. If history goes the way I remember, Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang is about to launch a massive campaign against the northern Yuan. Daning Prefecture is on the border. My garrison will be involved. War is coming. Real war. Not bandit cleanup. Real armies. Real battlefields. I need to get stronger fast. Extract horsemanship. The knowledge floods in. I close my eyes and I can feel it. Every muscle movement, every balance adjustment, every combat technique on horseback. Perfect. Instant. Complete. Time to start training. Every night, iron body technique. Every battle, stat harvesting. Every corpse, a stepping stone. Shin Wansan, Shin Rome. Wash your necks and wait for me. Now, the horsemanship skill is incredible. 1 second, I barely knew which end of a horse to face. The next, I could ride like I was born in a saddle. But true mastery only comes with actual riding, so I'll need to get on a real horse soon. The steel saber, though? Can't pull that out in front of everyone. Hey guys, where'd you get that fancy weapon? Oh, this? It materialized from my invisible interdimensional inventory. Yeah, that conversation ends with me being burned as a witch. I'll find a quiet moment later. I start training the iron body technique that same night. And let me tell you, the cultivation is real. I can literally feel the stats climbing. My body is converting into what I'm calling a data body now. Everything I gain shows up on the panel in hard numbers. No guessing. No. Am I getting stronger? It's right there in the spreadsheet. My body has a SPREADSHET. Then my panel pings again. First official appointment detected. Generate authority seal. Authority seal? That sounds important. Generate it. Ding. Small banner leader seal. All soldiers under your command gain 10% combat power, 10% morale, 10% endurance. My JW drops. My 10 guys just got a passive buff? I'm not just a commander. I'm a walking aura. My soldiers are literally stronger just by being near me. This system doesn't play around. Meanwhile, up at the big boy table in the Daning Prefecture capital, things are getting spicy. The prefect, a guy named Buwan, has gathered every official and military commander in the region. Crown Prince Zhu Biao's imperial order just came down the chain. Eliminate all bandits in Daning. Find whoever's backing them. Handle it fast. One of the generals reports in. Sir, Ansha County already wiped out several hundred bandits. They recovered dozens of chests of treasure. And the military report confirms these weren't ordinary bandits. They were trained fighters with Jurchen accents. Jurchen? Buwan's face goes dark. Another general chimes in. The northern Yuan may be beaten, but they still have influence. The Jurchen tribes are their vassals. They're using bandit raids to destabilize our borders and steal our people's wealth to strengthen their own tribes. 2 birds, 1 stone. General Chun, General Liu. What's your recommendation? Buwan asks. General Chun Hung doesn't hesitate. If we want to solve this permanently, we need to hit the Jurchen directly. Push them out of our border zone. We've got 50,000 troops in Daning. Give us 20,000, and we'll make those Jurchens regret ever looking in our direction. 20,000? You're sure that's enough? The Jurchen are split into 3 tribes. They're not unified. The ones raiding us are only using a fraction of their strength. They're testing us, not committing fully. A hard strike will scare them into backing off. We're not trying to wipe them out. Just make it hurt enough that they stop. Buwan thinks for a moment, then nods. Do it. He writes up official military orders, stamps them with the commander's seal, and sends both generals off to prepare. 20,000 Ming soldiers are about to march on the Jurchen. And guess whose garrison is part of the Daning military system? Mine. Back at Ansha camp, 6 days have passed since the bandit raid. 6 beautiful, productive, glorious days. Every single night, I've been cultivating the iron body technique. Not one night off. Not one break. Results? Strength, 60 constitution, 60 endurance, 60 in 6 days. Just from nighttime training alone. I clench my fist and I can feel it. The raw power humming through my muscles. 6 days ago, I was a strong teenager. Now I'm something else entirely. I open my eyes to the first light of dawn, stretch, and smile. Another productive night. Boom, 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 war drums. Emergency assembly. My eyes go wide. Then my lips curl into a grin. More bandits? Or something bigger? Either way, more enemies means more stat points. Everybody up, I shout at my 10 soldiers. Move it. They scramble out of bed like startled cats, throwing on armor, grabbing weapons. One of them looks at me with nervous eyes. Sir, are we going bandit hunting again? All 10 of them are staring at me, waiting for an answer. I grab my bow, strap on my saber, and smile. Boys, I sure hope so. Probably going to fight bandits again, I tell my guys with a nod. They all look like someone just told them their dog died. Bunch of nervous wrecks. Listen up, what are you scared of? Bandits have 1 head and 2 legs, same as us. Except we have armor and real weapons, and they have sticks and bad attitudes. If we go out there, just follow me and swing. You're already in the army. Being scared doesn't get you out. Might as well kill stuff and get promoted. That actually works. They straighten up a little. Amazing what fake confidence can do. We march to the parade ground, and the entire garrison is assembled. 1,000-man Commander Wei Quan is standing up on the platform looking like someone told him his dog died too. Soldiers, I've received orders from command. The bandit problem in Daning has been traced to its source, the Jurchen tribes across the northern border. They've been sending trained fighters into our territory disguised as bandits to destabilize our region. Oh, so it's not just bandit hunting. Command has ordered a full military operation. We march to the border immediately to join the combined forces. We are going to war against the Jurchen. The parade ground goes dead silent. This isn't, go poke some bandits in a forest, anymore. This is a real military campaign against an actual foreign enemy. The Jurchens are no joke. They're vicious, organized, and they've been terrorizing this region for years. Half the soldiers look like they're about to faint. Me? I'm doing math. Bandits dropped 20 stat points each. Jurchen soldiers probably drop more. And there's going to be thousands of them, with thousands of corpses afterward. This isn't a battle. This is an all-you-can-eat buffet. Also, and this is the part where being a reincarnated person from the future comes in handy. I know exactly what these Jurchen tribes become. Centuries from now, their descendants will conquer all of China, destroy the Ming dynasty, and drag the entire nation into darkness. They'll humiliate the Han Chinese in ways that make my blood boil just thinking about it. So yeah, I'm not just excited for the stat points. I genuinely want to stomp these guys. From what I can figure out, this whole operation is really about clearing the path for Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang's bigger campaign against the northern Yuan. Daning Prefecture is right on the border. You can't launch a massive invasion northward if your own backyard is full of Jurchen-sponsored bandits stabbing your supply lines. Clean up the Jurchens first, then go after the Mongols. Smart strategy. And it puts me right in the middle of the action. 2 days of marching later, we arrive at the northeastern border of Daning. 20,000 Ming soldiers, camped out in neat formations, ready for war. In the command tent, General Chen Hung and General Lu Zhun are sitting at the head table with 20,000-man commanders lined up on both sides. The Crown Prince's orders are clear, General Chen says. Crush the Jurchen raiders. Make them pay. This is not a negotiation. This is a lesson. One commander speaks up. General, the Jurchens probably already know we're coming. They have spies everywhere. But their main forces aren't stationed at the border. I say we attack tomorrow. Speed is everything. Hit them fast, hit them hard. If they fight back, we kill them. If they run, we chase them. I volunteer my unit as the vanguard. No, my unit should lead. Let me go first, General. Every single commander is fighting for the chance to be the spearhead. Nobody wants to miss out on military merit. This is the Ming dynasty. Promotions are written in blood, and everybody wants to write their name. General Chen grins. Tomorrow, 1st Division and 2nd Division lead the frontal assault. The rest split into two flanking forces. When you meet the enemy, kill. No prisoners. We're sending a message written in Jurchen blood. Yes, SIR. 20 commanders roar in unison. Back at my little corner of the camp, I'm doing something the other soldiers find deeply confusing. I'm carving my name onto arrows. Lots of arrows. See, after a battle, they count kills by checking whose name is on the arrow stuck in the dead guy. No name, no credit. So I'm branding every single arrow like a businessman putting logos on merchandise. Sir, one of my soldiers says, watching me carve. How many arrows did you take? That's way more than 50. Standard quiver holds 50 arrows. I grabbed over 100. Back up, I say casually, filling up my second quiver. They're looking at me like I'm crazy. Who needs 100 arrows? A guy who gets stat points per kill, that's who. I'm an archer in a dedicated archer company. When the battle starts, I'll be raining death from the back lines while the spearmen do the close-range dirty work. Safer position, better angles, and every arrow with my name on it is a potential stat drop waiting to happen. 100 arrows. 100 chances to get stronger. Tomorrow, the Jurchen are going to learn what happens when you mess with a transmigrator who treats warfare like a farming simulator. 100 arrows, 2 bows, and my secret fine steel saber tucked away in my invisible pocket dimension. I'm locked and loaded. Tonight's the last night before the big battle, and I've got my whole future mapped out. Kill enemies, collect stats, climb ranks, build power. And honestly, I'm not even limiting my ambitions to the Ming Dynasty anymore. I know the future. I know that after Zhu Yuanzhang dies, his grandson Zhu Yunwan takes over. Then Uncle Zhu Di kicks down the door and steals the throne in the Jingnan Rebellion. The whole empire turns into a dumpster fire. Right now I'm too weak to do anything about any of that. But give me a few years of stat grinding and cultivation, when every attribute is in the tens of thousands. I won't just be some soldier. I could carve out my own kingdom if I wanted to. There's a whole world out there beyond China's borders. Plenty of land for a guy with superhuman strength and an infinite growth system. But that's future talk. For now, survive, get strong, kill Jurchens. Zhuang, Commander Lu Lei walks over with a smile. Already, he asks. Arrows carved, bows strung, ready to go. Just waiting for tomorrow. Lu Lei gets serious. Our unit is the vanguard. First wave. We go in first. Oh, first wave. Cool. Cool. The most dangerous position. Where all the dying happens. Great. Also, Lu Lei says, squinting at me, how old are you really? Because I looked at your military records. Your hometown is listed as Beiping, not Daning. Why would someone from Beiping enlist all the way out here? Oh, he did homework on me. Honestly, I got scammed into this, I say with a bitter laugh. Lu Lei's face changes. He stares at me for a long moment, clearly doing the math in his head. Someone with enough power to forge military documents and transfer you across prefectures. That's not a small enemy, kid. Then he puts his hand on my shoulder. I'm just a 100-man commander. I can't do much. But as long as you're in MY company, I'll protect you with everything I've got. Thanks, Commander. And I actually mean it. This guy is the real deal. Saved his life once with 2 arrows and he's repaying it with genuine loyalty. Next morning, 20,000 Ming soldiers crossed the border into Jurchen territory. No boundary markers between Ming and the northern Yuan. You know why? Because in Zhu Yuanzhang's mind, all of this land belongs to him. He just hasn't collected it yet. Why put up a border sign when you plan to own everything on both sides? Scout cavalry rides ahead to check for ambushes. Infantry follows behind as the main attack force. Everything by the book. On the Jurchen side, their border settlement is buzzing like a kicked beehive. Their commander is a guy named Jean Gouda, a 10,000-man captain. And honestly, he's the only smart person on their side. When the Northern Yuan originally told the Jurchen tribes to go mess with the Ming, Jean Gouda went to his tribal chief and said, hey, maybe let's not poke the dragon. The Yuan Empire is falling apart, and the Ming is getting stronger every day. Maybe we should stay neutral? Nobody listened. Of course, we're Jurchen warriors. The Han Chinese were the lowest class under Mongol rule. They're beneath us. That's what the other commanders said. Jean Gouda wanted to facepalm into another dimension. You idiots, that low-class civilization just kicked out the entire Mongol Empire. Their emperor crawled up from being a homeless monk to ruling all of China. But sure, underestimate him. Great plan. Now the Ming army is marching straight at them and Jean Guda is doing damage control. He's ordered all the civilians to evacuate north, but tens of thousands of people can't move fast. They've barely covered 50 miles. He needs to buy time. We fight, Jean Guda announces. Not to win, to delay. Buy time for our people to escape. If we happen to beat them, even better. I'll become famous across all 3 Jurchen tribes. His plan? 8,000 cavalry split into 2 wings, hidden 5 miles out from the settlement. Ambush the Ming advance force. Infantry holds the rear. Total Jurchen strength, nearly 15,000 fighters. And reinforcements are coming from the main tribe. Let me see what you Ming soldiers are really made of, Jean Guda says, eyes burning with ambition. Not bad for a barbarian commander. He's actually got a brain. Too bad for him. The Ming army also has a brain. Plus 20,000 professional soldiers. Plus a transmigrator in the 3rd row who treats every enemy like a walking loot drop. Speaking of which, that's me. Marching in formation. Bow in hand. Arrow knocked. 3rd row of the advance force. My heart is pounding. Not from fear. From excitement. Somewhere ahead, 15,000 Jurchens are waiting. 15,000 stat pinatas. All lined up, and I brought 100 sticks with my name carved on them. Let's go. Every soldier is spread out 1 zhang apart, moving forward like the most nervous parade in history. The new guys are practically vibrating with fear. And honestly, even I'm keeping my eyes wide open. Crossing into enemy territory with no cover is not the place to zone out. We're maybe a few miles from the Jurchen settlement when, kill, slaughter these pathetic Han dogs. The ground starts shaking. I look north and my stomach drops. Hundreds, no, thousands, of Jurchen cavalry come pouring over the hills like a leather-armored tsunami. They're wearing beast skin armor, carrying sabers, spears, and bows, and they are screaming for our blood. And they're already knocking arrows on horseback. Mounted archery, the thing that made steppe nomads the terror of every civilization for 1,000 years. These guys grow up in saddles the way I grew up with textbooks. General Chun Hung doesn't even flinch. Archers to the front. Cavalry and spearmen hold position. Defensive formation. 2,000 of us bow guys sprint forward and spread out into arrow lines. 10 men per row, 5 rows deep, small banner units side by side. We raise our bows, aim at 45 degrees, and wait. The Jurchen cavalry is getting closer. 100 meters. 80. 60. Fire. 2,000 arrows launch into the sky like an angry cloud. They come down on the Jurchen like rain made of death. Riders tumble off horses. Horses crash into each other. Bodies hit the dirt and get trampled by the riders behind them. Killed Jurchen cavalry soldier. Picked up 20 strength. My first arrow of the battle finds its home in some rider's chest. He drops like a sack of rice. I'm already pulling the next arrow. Lock on. Draw. Release. THWIP. Killed Jurchen cavalry soldier. Picked up 20 constitution. My arms are so much stronger now that drawing the bow feels like stretching a rubber band. These arrows are flying hard. Every shot is a kill shot, and every kill is fuel. Kill Jurchens. Get stats. Kill more Jurchens. Get more stats. That's my entire brain right now. I'm not thinking about strategy. I'm not thinking about survival philosophy. I'm a stat harvesting machine and the factory is open. Arrow after arrow after arrow. Picked up 20 strength. Picked up 20 speed. Picked up 20 constitution. 10 kills. 15. 20. But then their arrows start coming back. The Jurchen riders fire while galloping, bows angled, arrows flying. And their volley crashes into our formation like hail from hell. Soldiers around me start dropping. One guy takes an arrow through the throat. Another gets pinned through the shoulder and goes down screaming. 2 of my own squad mates collapse into pools of blood right next to me. War isn't a game. These aren't bandit scrubs in a forest. These are trained killers on warhorses firing arrows at full gallop, and they are deleting my comrades in real time. Damn it, I can't save them. I can't do anything except shoot faster. Every Jurchen I kill is 1 less arrow aimed at my friends. Killed Jurchen cavalry. Picked up 20 strength. Killed Jurchen cavalry. Picked up 20 speed. Killed Jurchen cavalry. Picked up 20 spirit. Killed Jurchen cavalry. Picked up 30 days lifespan. 20 kills. The panel dings. Total kills exceed 20. Reward. 1 normal treasure chest. Cool. Filing that away for later. Kind of busy right now. The Jurchen cavalry is now 30 steps away. Too close for archery to be effective against a charge. General Chun Hung raises his saber and roars. Cavalry charge. Spearmen, advance. 5,000 Ming cavalry explode forward. 3,000 spearmen follow right behind. The general himself leads the charge, sword raised, horse thundering. The two armies collide. It's like watching two waves smash into each other, except the waves are made of horses and screaming men and blood. Sabers cleave through armor. Spears punch through bodies. Horses go down thrashing. Men are trampled under hooves. This is not a skirmish. This is full-scale war. I stay in the archer line, scanning the chaos for targets. The melee fighters are tangled together now, which makes aiming harder, but there are still plenty of Jurchen riders on the edges trying to flank us. Arrow. Kill. Stat arrow. Kill. Stat arrow. Kill. Stat. All stats break 200. Reward. 1 normal treasure chest. A warm light washes over my body. Every muscle, every nerve, every cell feels like it just got upgraded. It's like my whole body went through a car wash, but for my soul. 200 points in every stat. I'm now roughly twice as strong as a peak adult male. My arrows fly harder. My eyes track faster. My breathing is barely elevated. I'm not a normal human anymore. More. I pull arrows even faster now. My hands are a blur. Knock, draw, release. Knock, draw, release. Each shot flies with terrifying speed and accuracy. Then Jean Gouda, the Jurchen commander, plays his trump card. He sends his reserve cavalry out from both flanks, trying to surround us. Flank cavalry move. Encircle the Ming army. Thousands of fresh Jurchen riders pour in from the sides. Jean Gouda himself charges into the battle, saber raised. The battlefield erupts into pure, absolute chaos. Ming soldiers screaming, kill the barbarians. Jurchen screaming, kill the Han dogs. And me, standing in the middle of it all, pulling arrows out of my quiver like I'm dealing cards at the world's deadliest poker game. Thinking, I brought 100 arrows, and I'm starting to worry it's not enough. The battle goes completely sideways. Both armies are now just a giant blender of swords, spears, horses, and screaming. There's no formation anymore. It's just kill or be killed in every direction. Our 1,000-man commander Wei Quan screams, "Archers, drop your bows. Draw sabers. Fight." Well, so much for the safe backline archer life. Boys, stay on me. Let's go. I yell at my 10 soldiers. Follow the banner leader. Kill. They scream back. Bless their hearts. They're terrified, but they're sticking with me. Brave little idiots. I pull out my fine steel saber for the first time. The one from the treasure chest. The one I've been hiding in my inventory this whole time. And oh, my God. A Jurchen soldier swings his blade at my head. I raise my saber to block and his sword snaps in half like a chopstick. Before he can even process what happened, his head goes airborne. Blood fountain. Body drops. Killed Jurchen infantry. Picked up 20 strength. I immediately crouch down and slice off his ear, stuff it in my shirt. That's my receipt. In the Ming military, you prove your kills with ears. No ear, no credit. And I am not leaving free promotions on the ground. Kill the Han dog. 4 or 5 Jurchen soldiers see me and charge at once. Protect the banner leader. My 10 guys rush in to help, clashing with the attackers. But I don't need protection anymore. I step forward. One slash, a Jurchen drops. Another slash, another one falls. My fine steel saber cuts through their weapons like they're made of paper. My strength is over 400 points now. That's 400 gene of raw force behind every swing. These regular soldiers literally cannot block me. Their arms shake, their blades shatter, and then they die. 5 Jurchens. 5 swings. 5 bodies. I collect all 5 ears like I'm picking apples. Stay close. Let's move, I tell my squad. They're staring at me like I just turned into a dragon. These Jurchen warriors that terrify them? I'm cutting through them like they're training dummies. I charge into the thick of the melee. Every enemy I meet gets one chop. That's all it takes. And here's the beautiful thing. Everybody else gets tired as the battle drags on. Not me. Every kill makes me stronger. My stats are climbing in real time. I started this battle strong. Now I'm becoming something else entirely. Meanwhile, General Chun Hung is on horseback going berserk with his saber, personally cutting down Jurchen soldiers. Say what you want about Ming Dynasty generals. These guys don't sit in the back sipping tea. They fight. Every single one of them crawled out of mountains of corpses during the wars that founded the empire. But then the Jurchen commander Jean Gouda spots our battle flag. There, the Ming commander. Kill him and we win. Jean Gouda charges straight at Chun Hung with a swarm of Jurchen cavalry behind him. The two commanders clash. Sabers collide with a massive clang. One exchange is all Jean Gouda needs to realize he's outmatched in raw strength. So what does he do? He does what every smart coward does. He calls for backup. Kill the Ming general. Whoever does it gets promoted 2,000-man captain and gets 10 Han women. 10 women. He's offering 10 women as a kill bounty. The Jurchen soldiers go absolutely feral. They swarm Chun Hung from every direction. Spears jabbing. Sabers swinging. It's a dogpile of murder. Chun Hung fights like a demon, but there's just too many. A spear comes from his blind side. He dodges but loses his balance and falls off his horse. He hits the ground. The Jurchens close in for the kill. It's over, Chun Hung thinks. That's when I show up. I come crashing and looking like a horror movie villain, covered head to toe in blood, saber dripping red, eyes locked on target. One slash, dead Jurchen. Another slash, another dead Jurchen. The soldiers surrounding Chun Hung? I delete them in seconds. The general stares at me from the ground, completely stunned. Who is this blood-soaked maniac? But I don't stop to chat. I don't salute. I don't even look at him for more than a second. Because I've spotted something much more interesting. Jean Gouda, the Jurchen commander, wearing iron armor instead of the leather everyone else has, riding under his own battle flag. The biggest fish on this entire battlefield. If I kill a regular soldier, I get 20 stat points in 1 year. If I kill the enemy general, that's a slay the commander merit. That's an instant promotion. That's the kind of achievement that gets your name written in official military records. I grip my bloody saber and sprint toward Jean Gouda. Behind me, Chun Hung scrambles to his feet screaming, "Kid, don't. You'll get yourself killed. Sorry, General. Can't hear you over the sound of my stat points calling." Jurchen soldiers try to get in my way. 1 slash each. They drop like dominoes. My speed stat is over 200 now. I'm cutting through the battlefield so fast, it looks like the enemies are standing still. 5 more dead. 6 more. They can't even react before my blade is already through them. And then, I'm standing right in front of Jean Gouda, the Jurchen 10,000-man commander. Me, a 13-year-old covered in blood, grinning like a maniac. Him, a veteran warlord on horseback, staring down at the craziest thing he's ever seen on a battlefield. Let's dance. Jean Gouda sees me running at him, and his face twists into a sneer. He kicks his horse forward and swings his saber down at me with the full momentum of a charging warhorse behind it. This is the kind of blow that's supposed to cut a man in half. Perfect, I think, and swing up to meet him. Clang. Sparks fly. Our blades collide, and I don't move. Not 1 inch. Not 1 millimeter. His horsepower death strike meets my 400-plus strength stat and goes absolutely nowhere. Jean Gouda's eyes go wide. What the? Fall down. I push back. Every ounce of power in my body channels through my arms. A tidal wave of force slams through his blade and into him. His arms buckle. His horse's legs start shaking. The animal literally can't hold up under the pressure. Crash. Horse and rider topple over sideways like a knocked-over chess piece. The mighty 10,000-man commander of the Jurchen border army is lying in the dirt. Even General Chun Hung, standing behind me, is frozen with his mouth open. How strong is this kid? But I'm not here for applause. I'm here for the head. Jean Gouda scrambles to get up. He doesn't make it. I'm already on top of him, saber raised. And oh, he screams. Chop head comes off. Clean cut. Fine steel saber earns its name. Killed Jurchen 10,000-man commander Jean Gouda. Picked up 100 all stats. First kill of 10,000-man rank. Reward, 1 normal treasure chest. 100 points. In every stat. My entire body lights up like someone just plugged me into the sun. Strength, speed, constitution, endurance, spirit, everything jumps by 100 points simultaneously. I feel like I just evolved into a different species. But I don't have time to enjoy it. I grab Jean Gouda's head and clip it to my belt like a bloody keychain. That is going on my resume. Now the flag. Behind Jean Gouda's corpse, some Jurchen soldier is still holding their commander's battle flag. Poor guy looks like he just watched his dad get murdered. I charge forward. More Jurchen soldiers try to stop me. One chop each. They drop like wet laundry. Picked up 20 strength. Picked up 40 days lifespan. Picked up 20 speed. I cut through them all and reach the flag bearer. One swing. I slice through the man and the flagpole at the same time. The Jurchen battle flag hits the ground. I step onto the fallen banner, saber dripping blood, severed head swinging from my belt, and I scream at the top of my lungs. Your commander is dead. Surrender and live. My voice booms across the battlefield like thunder. And the effect is instant. See, in ancient warfare, the battle flag is everything. It's how soldiers know where their commander is. It's their rallying point, their morale anchor, their reason to keep fighting. When the flag falls, the army's soul breaks. The commander is dead, the flag is down. We're finished. Run. The entire Jurchen army collapses. Thousands of warriors who were fighting like demons 5 seconds ago are now tripping over each other, trying to escape. It's like someone pulled the plug on their courage and it all drained out at once. General Chun Hung is staring at me like he just saw a unicorn do a backflip. This soldier. This is an absolute monster. And then, right on cue, General Lu Jin arrives with the flanking force. Fresh Ming cavalry and infantry pour in from both sides, slamming the door shut on the retreating Jurchens. Complete encirclement. Total rout. I'm not done though. Fleeing enemies are still enemies. And fleeing enemies are easy enemies. I take off running after them, saber in hand, collecting stat points like a kid chasing candy from a broken piñata. 1 hour later, the battle is over. The field is quiet except for groaning wounded and officers shouting orders. Medics are treating the injured. Soldiers are sitting in the dirt, exhausted. Cavalry units have already galloped north to chase down the runners. Then comes the fun part, counting kills. Every company has a military merit recorder, a vice 100-man commander whose entire job is tallying up who killed what. Arrow kills get counted separately by checking the names carved on arrows stuck in corpses. Melee kills get proven by presenting enemy ears or heads. Commander Lu Lei gathers what's left of our company. Out of over 100 soldiers, barely 70% survived. He looks sad for a moment, then straightens up. Vice Commander, begin the count. Anyone with kill proof. Ears, heads, step forward. About 15 guys come up and drop small handfuls of ears on the ground. 1 head here, 2 heads there. Decent hauls. Then there's an awkward pause. Anyone else? I walk forward. Slowly, casually. I reach into my shirt, and I dump 58 bloody ears onto the ground in one wet pile. Then I untie Jean Gouda's head and set it down next to them. Then I toss the broken Jurchen battle flag on top. The entire company goes silent. Lu Lei's jaw hits the floor. The vice commander looks like his brain just crashed. The clerk holding the record book is literally shaking. You're the one who killed their commander? And cut their flag? Head's right there. Feel free to verify. I point at Jean Gouda's face, frozen in his last expression of pure terror. Yes, sir. The clerk stammers. These ears. 58. He killed 58 men in close combat. That's not counting his arrow kills. The vice commander swallows hard. Record it. All of it. Send it straight to the inspector general. No, skip the inspector general. Send it to the commanding general. He looks at me. What's your name? Zhuing. Small banner leader, first company. Small banner leader, he repeats, almost laughing. Not for long. This is the single greatest individual merit of the entire battle. Slaying the enemy commander and capturing their flag. When this gets reported to the capital, you're looking at a promotion that could skip 3 ranks. Everyone in the company is staring at me. Lu Lei is staring at me. The vice commander is staring at me. I'm standing there covered in blood with 58 ears at my feet and a severed head at my ankle, thinking, I wonder how many stat points are in all those uncollected corpses out on the field right now. After the kill count is done, every single soldier in the company is staring at me like I'm some kind of war deity who accidentally got assigned to the wrong unit. Pure, please don't kill me too, energy. Commander Lu Lei rushes over. Zhuing, are you hurt? Just scratches, I say with a casual smile. Scratches is doing a lot of heavy lifting here. My back has slash marks. My chest has slash marks. My arms have slash marks. And there's still a broken arrow sticking out of my left arm like a really aggressive piercing. But here's the thing. My constitution is over 350 points now. That's more than 3 times a normal human. My blood clots so fast it's basically instant glue. Half these wounds already scabbed over while I was still swinging my saber. My body is healing in real time like a video game character between fights. Lule takes one look at my injuries and goes pale. I'm getting you a medic right now. The army doctor shows up, takes one look at my torso, and his eyes bug out. Son, you literally walked through hell. Hell didn't want me either, I shrug. Then he sees the arrow in my arm. This is going to hurt when I dig it out. Brace yourself. Go for it, Doc. He pulls out a small knife and starts carving around the arrowhead. Lule is standing next to me looking more worried than I am. The doctor yanks the arrow free. Blood flows for about 3 seconds and then just stops. The doctor stares at my arm like it just performed a magic trick. How? How did the bleeding stop that fast? Good genetics? I offer. He wraps everything up, applies medicine, shakes his head in disbelief, and leaves. Probably going to tell every other medic in camp about the freak teenager who heals like a lizard regrowing its tail. Let me check my stats real quick. Strength, 489 speed, 432 constitution, 351 endurance, 345 spirit, 332 lifespan, 88 years, 578 days storage, 3 cubic meters. Look at those numbers. I picked up over 1,000 stat points in one battle. My lifespan alone gained almost 2 extra years. My storage space tripled. I went into this fight as a moderately superhuman teenager. I'm coming out as something that could probably fight 100 men solo and win. Lule sits down next to me, shaking his head. You know, kid, after this you might outrank me. Slaying the enemy commander and capturing their battle flag? I might have to start calling you sir soon. Don't get ahead of yourself, commander. Then his face gets serious. Zhuing, I know you want to climb the ranks fast. I know someone sent you here to die, and you're fighting to prove them wrong. But you charged a 10,000-man commander by yourself today. That's not bravery, that's insanity. You're young. You'll get more chances. Don't throw your life away trying to get them all in one battle. He's right. Logically, I know he's right. But every time I think about the Shin family, about how they forged my papers, shipped me to this border hellhole, and are probably right now planning to make sure I never come back, my blood boils. I don't just want revenge. I want power. The kind of power where I can crush them legally, officially, with the full weight of the Ming military establishment behind me. And that means rank. And rank means kills. I appreciate it, Commander. I'll be more careful. I will not be more careful. Lule heads off to check on the rest of the company, and my eyes immediately lock onto the battlefield. Hundreds of corpses are still lying out there. The cleanup crew is starting to move in, which means my window is closing. I grab my saber and start wandering through the dead. To everyone else, I look like a diligent young soldier checking for enemies playing dead. Commendable vigilance. What a responsible warrior. In reality, touch. 1 strength, touch. 3 speed, touch. 5 days lifespan, touch. 3 constitution. I'm speed walking through a field of corpses like a shopper at a clearance sale who knows the store closes in 10 minutes. Every body is a loot drop. Every cold hand I brush against is another tiny deposit in my stat bank. Are they small numbers? Sure, but you know what 1,000 small numbers add up to. A big number. I've been at this for hours by the time night falls and the rear supply troops set up camp and bring food. Say what you want about Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang. The man is terrifying and he kills officials for sport, but he does not starve his soldiers. Ever since he executed that traitor Hu Weiyong, Crown Prince Zhu Biao personally oversees military supplies. Our food is hot, plentiful, and on time. Meanwhile, in the command tent, General Chun Hung and General Lu Zhun are having a little post-battle chat. Heard you almost got killed out there, Lu Zhun says with a smirk. Maybe I wouldn't have almost died if someone had closed the encirclement faster, Chun Hung snaps. I moved as fast as I could. Sure you did. Look, we won. That's what matters. Chun Hung grumbles, but lets it go. Truth is, they underestimated the Jurchens. These border tribes fight way harder than expected. But the Ming army still came out on top, and somewhere in that army is a blood-soaked 14-year-old sitting on a pile of corpses, quietly touching dead people and getting stronger with every single one. That 14-year-old is having the best day of his life. Back in the command tent, General Chun Hung is briefing Prefect Bu Wan on the battle results. And apparently, the Jurchens have gotten a lot scarier than anyone expected. These aren't the primitive savages we used to fight, Chun Hung says, dead serious. Ever since the Mongol Yuan dynasty ruled China, our ironworking and forging techniques leaked northward. These Jurchens now have proper weapons and well-crafted armor. We can't look down on them anymore, Lu Zhen nods. This battle was a wake-up call. Then the tent flap opens and Prefect Buwan strolls in like a man who just got told his stock portfolio tripled. Gentlemen, how did we do? Decisive victory, sir. We killed over 5,800 enemies, captured 3,000 prisoners. We lost 3,780 of our own with 2,500 wounded. Excellent. Buwan is practically glowing. This is going straight to the Crown Prince as a personal success story. His career just leveled up. Then Chun Hung pulls out a second report. A special one. Separate from the main battle summary. Sir, there's one more matter that requires your personal attention. Oh, Buwan takes the report, opens it casually, and then his entire face changes. His eyes go wide. His jaw drops. He reads it again just to make sure his brain didn't malfunction. Is this real? Every word, sir. I witnessed the commander kill personally. If this soldier hadn't intervened, I would be dead right now. Every general in the tent is now dying of curiosity. What could possibly make the prefect look like he just saw a ghost? Read it, Buwan says, handing the report to his attendant. The attendant clears his throat and reads in a booming voice. 1st 1,000-man company, small banner leader Zhu Ying. In battle against the Jurchen forces, killed 103 enemy soldiers, 45 by arrow, 58 by blade. Additionally, slew the Jurchen commanding General Jean Guda in close combat. Captured and destroyed the enemy battle flag. Distinguished merit of the highest order. Dead. Silence. Then the tent explodes. 103. Is he even human? Not even Lu Bu could do that. Lu Bu is a legend, and this kid outdid him. Even the Duke of Kaiping, the most ferocious warrior who founded this dynasty, never posted numbers like that in a single battle. That's why the Jurchens collapsed before we finished the encirclement. This kid cut their head off before we could even close the trap. How many ranks does a merit like this even skip? 3, 4. Every commander in the room is freaking out. Lu Zhen, the other general who missed the whole thing, is staring at Chun Hung with his mouth open, probably regretting taking the flanking route instead of the frontal assault. Sir, Chun Hung says, barely hiding his smug satisfaction, how should we reward such merit? Buwan strokes his chin, thinking. But he's not stressed about this decision at all, because here's the beautiful political math happening in everyone's head right now. Beating one small Jurchen border tribe? Nice, but not exactly headline news in the capital. The emperor reads reports about border skirmishes over breakfast. This wouldn't even make him look up from his kanji. But a single soldier killing 103 enemies, slaying their general in personal combat, and capturing their battle flag? That is the kind of story that makes Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang put down his chopsticks. That gets read aloud in the throne room. That makes the crown prince go, who is this person? And everyone in this tent, from Buwan down to the lowest company commander, gets to ride my coattails. Oh yes, your majesty, this legendary warrior served under MY command. Promotions for everybody. I'm not just a war hero. I'm a career boost for every officer in the chain of command. The founding emperor himself decreed that military merit shall never go unrewarded, Buwan says with the biggest smile I've never seen. General Chun, how many ranks does our military code say this warrants? And somewhere outside the tent, completely unaware that he's becoming the most talked about soldier in the entire Daning military, a blood-covered 14-year-old is wandering through a field of dead Jurchens, casually touching corpses and quietly farming stats like it's a Tuesday afternoon in a video game. That 14-year-old is me, and I am having an outstanding day. Inside the command tent, General Chun Heng is doing the math on my promotion, and he doesn't even need to think about it. By Ming military merit law, Zhu Ying's kill count alone warrants a promotion of 4 ranks. Add the slaying of the enemy commander and capturing their battle flag, that's a 5th rank. Every general in the tent does the mental calculation at the same time. He's currently a small banner leader. 5 ranks up from that is 1,000-man commander. A 1,000-man commander in one day? Nobody has done that since the dynasty was founded. Well, technically the emperor himself went from Common soldier to vanguard commander back in the rebellion days. And that was more than 5 ranks. Are you seriously comparing this kid to the emperor right now? I'm just saying. Military merit is military merit. The emperor himself wrote these rules. You want to argue with his system? Nobody argues with the emperor's system. That's how you keep your head attached to your neck. Prefect Buwan is grinning from ear to ear. If the merit code says 5 ranks, then 5 ranks it is. Now bring this Zhu Ying to me. I want to see what kind of monster our Daning prefecture has produced. Then something hilarious happens. General Lu Zhan, the guy who led the flanking force and missed all the fun, sneaks over to Chun Hung and whispers, "Hey buddy, how about we discuss transferring Zhu Ying to MY command?" Absolutely not. I didn't even finish, I said in O. This warrior is mine. He saved my life. He stays under MY command. Dream on. Lu Zhan slinks away looking like a kid who got told he can't have the last cookie. These two generals are fighting over me like I'm the last slice of pizza at a party. And I don't even know this is happening yet. Meanwhile, I'm sitting by a campfire, eating flatbread, completely oblivious. But I'm not wasting time. While I chew, I'm checking my post-battle loot haul from all that corpse touching I did earlier. Looted from battlefield corpses, strength, 98 speed, 102 constitution, 103 endurance, 99 spirit, 89 lifespan, 454 days of extra lifespan just from touching dead people after the battle. That's over a year of bonus life from a single afternoon of morbid tag. All stats exceed 400. Reward, 1 normal treasure chest. My current stats, strength, 584. Speed, 512 constitution, 431 endurance, 415 spirit, 402 lifespan, 88 years 1,138 days storage. For cubic meters, I now have nearly 590 points of strength. That's 590 gene of raw force. I could probably flip a horse with one hand. My speed is over 500. I'm faster than any human alive. My constitution means wounds close in minutes. And my lifespan has gained over 3 years since this whole adventure started. I've also got 5 treasure chests saved up. I'm about to crack those open when, where is ZHUYNG? A voice cuts through the night. Every soldier around the campfire looks up. Sir, I think the 1,000-man commander is calling for you, one of my guys says. I stand up just as Wei Quan himself comes marching over. He looks me up and down with an expression I've never seen on his face before, genuine respect. Well, didn't know my company had a legend hiding in it. Then he turns to address all the soldiers sitting around the fires. Brothers, do you know how many Jurchens our very own Zhu Ying killed today? Everyone stares. Zhu Ying single-handedly killed over 100 enemy soldiers, slew their commanding general, and cut down their battle flag. His actions broke the enemy's will to fight and secured our victory. Dead silence. Then murmuring. Then full-blown shock. 100? He killed the general? Is he even real? He doesn't even look that big. How? I need to rethink my entire life. Wei Quan turns back to me, still smiling. The prefect and both commanding generals want to see you. Right now. Come with me. Yes, sir. I follow him toward the main command tent, my heart pounding with anticipation. 5 ranks. If what I've heard about Ming military merit is right, and my kill count plus the commander kill plus the flag capture all stack up the way I think they do, I'm about to go from small banner leader, commanding 10 guys, to 1,000-man commander, commanding 1,000. 2 months ago, the Shun family threw me into this army to die. Tonight, I'm walking into a tent full of generals who are about to hand me more power than the Shun family's money could ever buy. And I've still got 5 treasure chests to open. Life is good. Wei Quan leads me into the main command tent, and every pair of eyes in the room snaps to me like magnets. I can literally read their thoughts on their faces. That's the guy? He's a teenager. Where's the giant muscle-bound warrior? Why is there a pretty boy standing here instead? Yeah. They were all expecting some 7-foot beast with arms like tree trunks and a face like a brick wall. Instead, they got a 14-year-old who could pass for a poetry student if you swapped his armor for a scholar's robe. Surprise, gentlemen. Death comes in small packages. Sir, small banner leader Zhu Ying. Reporting is ordered. Prefect Buwan looks me up and down, pauses, and then bursts out laughing. Huh. Heroes truly do come young. I expected someone who looked ferocious, but you're completely different from what I imagined. Thank you, sir. I'm just a Ming soldier doing his duty. Smooth. Calm. Not arrogant. Not groveling. I've watched enough historical dramas in my past life to know that attitude matters as much as achievement when you're standing in front of powerful people. Act cocky, and they'll find a reason to cut you down. Act humble but confident, and they'll want to promote you. Buwan nods, clearly impressed by my composure. Your merit is extraordinary. Over 100 kills, plus the enemy commander, plus their battle flag. By the Emperor's own military merit code, you are entitled to a promotion of 5 ranks. 5. My heart is doing backflips, but my face stays perfectly still. Any thoughts on that? Buwan asks with a smile. I will serve the Ming dynasty until my last breath. Nailed it. Buwan stands up, pulls out a blank military commission, picks up his brush, and starts writing. Every stroke of that brush is changing my life. He finishes, picks up the commander's official seal, and stamps it. It's done. It's official. Small banner leader Zhu Ying. Hear your commission. I hear and obey. For slaying over 100 enemy soldiers, killing the enemy commander, and capturing the enemy battle flag, thereby securing victory for our forces, you are hereby promoted 5 ranks to the position of 1,000-man commander. You shall command 1,000 soldiers and are awarded 100 taels of gold. 100 taels of gold, not silver, gold. 3 months. I've been in this army for 3 months. I went from a fake 16-year-old nobody with forged papers to a 1,000-man commander with 1,000 soldiers under my authority and enough gold to buy a small mansion. Buwan walks down from his seat, personally lifts me up from my bow, and hands me the commission with both hands. 1,000-man commander Zhu, I expect great things from you. I will not disappoint you, sir. Then he waves his hand, and 4 attendants step forward. One carries a full set of officer's armor with a matching helmet. One carries an official saber. One carries a ceremonial sword. And the last one carries a box containing 100 taels of gold. In the Ming military, a saber is for the battlefield. A sword is for formal duty. Having both means you're a real officer now. Not a grunt. Not a squad leader. An officer. I take everything. Armor, saber, sword, gold. My arms are literally full of promotions. Buwan turns to address the whole tent. Let 1,000-man commander Zhu's advancement serve as proof. Under my authority, military merit will always be rewarded. No exceptions. No politics. Achievement equals advancement. Period. The prefect is wise. Every general roars. Then Buwan drops the real bomb. This battle report, including Zhu Ying's individual achievements, will be sent directly to the capital, to the crown prince and the emperor himself. Every general in the room suddenly looks at me like I'm made of solid gold. My name is going to land on Zichu Yuanzhang's desk. The most powerful and terrifying human being on the planet is going to read about me. General Chun, Buwan continues, does your division have an open 1,000-man commander position? Chun Hung answers so fast he was clearly ready for this. Yes, sir. Yesterday's battle left the 1st Cavalry Company without a commander. Their previous commander was severely wounded. Perfect. 1,000-man commander Zhu, you are assigned to the 1st Cavalry Company. Cavalry, not infantry. Cavalry, the elite strike force, the tip of the spear, the unit that gets the most action, the most glory, and, most importantly for me, the most kills. I accept with gratitude, sir. I'm trying so hard to keep a straight face right now. Inside I'm doing cartwheels. Cavalry commander means I'm riding into battle on horseback with 1,000 mounted warriors behind me. And thanks to my treasure chest, I already have perfect horsemanship burned into my brain. I couldn't ride a horse 3 weeks ago, and now I'm commanding an entire cavalry regiment. Take a seat, 1,000-man commander. We still have strategy to discuss. Buwan gestures to the officer seating. Chun Hung immediately points to the chair right next to him. Sit here. I sit down among generals and senior commanders like I belong there. Because apparently, I do now. General Lu Zhun gives his update. Our pursuit force has chased the Jurchens over 50 miles north. We've recaptured the fleeing civilians and are bringing them back. The Jurchens won't dare mess with us again. They're a small tribe, not stupid enough to go all in against the Ming. Once we mop up the remaining bandits inside Daning with our other 30,000 troops, the border crisis is over. Buwan nods. Mission accomplished. And me? I'm sitting in this tent, wearing officer armor, gold in my storage space, 1,000 cavalry soldiers now under my command, my battle report heading to the Emperor's desk, and 5 unopened treasure chests waiting in my inventory. 3 months ago, I was a scam teenager holding a bow with shaking hands. Now generals are fighting over who gets to keep me. Shin family, I hope you're sleeping well tonight. Because the boy you tried to throw away just became more powerful than anyone in your entire pathetic merchant empire. And I'm just getting started. The strategy meeting continues and Prefect Buwan drops some very interesting information. We can't withdraw until the Jurchens send us a formal surrender document. Period. General Chun Hung raises a concern. Sir, the Jurchens are vassals of the Northern Yuan. If we keep pushing, the Mongols might intervene. Buwan smiles. The kind of smile that says, I know something you don't. Gentlemen, now that we've won our first battle, I can share some classified information. Every general leans forward. My ears perk up too, but honestly, I already know what he's about to say. Perks of being a time traveler. The Emperor has ordered a 200,000-man army to invade Liaodong and destroy Nahachu. The tent goes electric. Nahachu, the Northern Yuan's supreme military commander. The guy the Mongols call the next Wang Baobua, which is like calling someone the next Alexander the Great, but for steppe warfare. Zhu Yuanzhang actually captured this guy once and let him go out of mercy. Nahachu thanked him by going straight back to building an army to destroy the Ming dynasty. Lesson: don't show mercy to people who want to kill you. The emperor learned that one the hard way. The campaign is led by the Duke of Song as supreme commander, with the Duke of Ying and the Marquis of Yongchang as deputies. Those are some of the most legendary generals in Ming history. This is the A-Team, the Dream Roster, the Avengers of ancient China. Our role in Daning, Buwan continues, is officially to suppress bandits. Unofficially, we're the bait. We attack the Jurchens to draw Northern Yuan's attention this way, while the real main force, 200,000 soldiers, swings around and hits Nahachu from the other side. I'm sitting here thinking, yeah, I literally read about this in a history textbook for 100 years from now. Nice to see it happening in real time, though. Within 1 to 2 months, the main army will enter the northern frontier. Until then, we attack. If the Yuan sends reinforcements, we switch to defense and hold until the main force arrives. Every general stands and bows. For the Ming dynasty, I bow too, but inside I'm doing calculations. 2 months of continuous warfare against Jurchens and potentially Mongol reinforcements? That's 2 months of nonstop stat farming. 2 months of killing enemies, touching corpses, and opening treasure chests. By the time this campaign ends, my stats could be in the thousands. The meeting ends and I walk out carrying my pile of officer gear. Armor, saber, sword, gold box. I look like a kid who won too many prizes at a carnival. Zhuing, General Chun Hung, catches me outside. General, I'd bow, but my arms are literally full of promotions. I never properly thank you for saving my life today, he says with genuine warmth. I owe you a debt that can't be repaid with words. But I, Chun Hung, will remember it. General, we're soldiers on the same battlefield. I just did what anyone would do. He smiles. Also, as a 1,000-man commander, you're entitled to 50 personal bodyguards. Pick them from your old unit if you want, or I can assign some veterans. 50 personal bodyguards? My own squad of elites? Thank you, General. I'll go pick some right away. He pats my shoulder. Get some rest first. Tomorrow I'll personally take you to your new cavalry company. As I leave, I catch Lu Zhan walking up to Chun Hung behind me. You lucky bastard. A one-man army under your command. One soldier killing 100 enemies and slaying their general? That's the stuff of legends. H.A. Go ahead and be jealous. Chun Hung walks away looking like the smuggest man alive. I make it back to camp and immediately get mobbed. Not just my 10 guys. The entire 100-man company and soldiers from neighboring units are crowding around me like I'm a celebrity doing a meet and greet. Lu Lei pushes through the crowd. Well, what happened? I grin. Promoted 5 ranks. 1,000-man commander. Lu Lei's eyes nearly fall out of his skull. THOU. 1,000-man. 1,000-man commander. How many ranks is that? He went from commanding 10 guys to commanding 1,000. 3 months in the army, and he outranks our entire company chain of command. I watched him on the battlefield. Jurchens were falling like baby chickens, 1 chop each. This is insane. Every single soldier, veterans who've served for years, newbies who joined with me, they're all staring at me with a Mixture of awe, respect, and a tiny bit of, is this guy even human? But nobody complains. Nobody says it's unfair. Because in the Ming military, merit is merit. The emperor personally designed the promotion system. You kill, you rise. No shortcuts, no backdoors, no rich daddy buying your rank. Just blood and results. And my results speak for themselves. 3 months ago, scam teenager with a bow. Tonight, 1,000-man commander with a cavalry regiment. A general who owes me his life. A battle report heading to the emperor's desk. 100 taels of gold, officer armor. 2 weapons, and 5 treasure chests I still haven't opened. Oh, and somewhere in Beiping, the richest family in China is probably celebrating how they got rid of me. They have no idea what's coming. Lu Lei is standing there with his mouth hanging open like a fish that just learned algebra. Thou, 1,000-man commander. Yeah, buddy. Your former rookie now outranks you by about 4 levels. Life comes at you fast. Lu Lei, General Chun told me I get to recruit 50 personal bodyguards. I want my original 10 soldiers as the core. But I need someone to lead them. Lu Lei's eyes go sharp. Dead serious. And then this man, 100-man commander, drops to his knees in front of me. 100-man commander Lu Lei requests permission to serve as 1,000-man commander Zhu's personal guard captain. I blink. Are you serious right now? You'd take a demotion to be my bodyguard? Absolutely. And here's the thing. It's actually brilliant thinking on his part. Lu Lei is a solid officer, but he's no one-man army. At his current rate, it'd take him years to climb from 100-man commander to anything higher. Maybe never. But as MY personal guard captain, his career is now strapped to a rocket. Every time I get promoted, he goes up too. And based on my trajectory, that rocket is going straight up. Welcome aboard, Lu Lei. He slams his forehead on the ground. I will serve you until death. I pull him up. First order of business. Pick the other 40 bodyguards. I trust your judgment. Yes, sir. I head to my tent while Lu Lei goes to recruit. And the second he announces the openings, it's like he threw raw meat into a shark tank. Pick me. I'll do it. Please, I want iron. I'll be the best bodyguard you've ever seen. Soldiers from every company are stampeding over, fighting for a spot. Everyone can see which direction my career is heading. Getting on my personal guard is like buying stock in a company that only goes up. Inside my tent, I set down my new gear and take a proper look. The 1,000-man commander armor is thick. This isn't the Tin King garbage they give regular soldiers. This is real protection, layered and heavy. The official saber and sword are sharp, well-forged iron. Quality stuff. 100 taels of gold goes straight into my storage space. Combined with the silver I borrowed from the bandit treasure room, I'm building a nice little fortune in my invisible pocket dimension. Now, the main event. The thing I've been waiting for all day. Treasure chests. Because I skipped 5 ranks, and each rank gives a chest. That's 5 more chests on top of the 5 I already had from milestones and kills. 10. Treasure. Chests. Open all of them. My panel explodes with notifications. Chest 1. Archery skill. Pierce willow at 100 paces. The legendary archery technique. The one that literally means so accurate you can hit a willow leaf from 100 steps away. I extract it immediately, and the knowledge floods my brain. Suddenly I understand archery on a level I never did before. It's not just aim, it's power, vision, and instinct working together. I just went from pretty good archer to I could shoot a fly off a horse's ear at full gallop. Chest 2. Yellow grade mid-tier, treasure carved bow. A graded weapon. Not just fine steel, but an actual classified quality bow. This thing is going to hit like a cannon. Chest 3. Fine steel long saber, another upgrade to my blade collection. Sweet. Chest 4. Yellow grade low tier, wild dance saber technique. A proper combat technique for saber fighting. Not just swinging, actual martial arts with a blade. Chest 5. Yellow grade low tier, minor restoration pill, a healing pill. Like straight out of a cultivation novel. This could save my life on the battlefield. Chest 6. Yellow grade low tier, divine arrow barrage, a multi-shot archery technique. Instead of 1 arrow at a time, this lets me fire arrows in rapid succession. Combined with my new archery skill and graded bow, I'm going to be a one-man artillery battery. Chest 7. Yellow grade low tier, mountain crushing fist, a martial arts technique for barehanded fighting. Because sometimes you need to punch someone so hard their ancestors feel it. Chest 8. 500 taels of gold, just straight cash. 500 taels of gold dropping into my storage space like the universe decided to make it rain. I'm richer than most nobles at this point. Chest 9. Fine steel refinement method. Wait. This isn't a weapon. This is a manufacturing technique. A method for producing steel that's way beyond what this era can make. If I ever build my own territory, I could equip an army with weapons a century ahead of everyone else. Chest 10. Premium gunpowder refinement method. I stare at this one for a long time. Advanced gunpowder. Better than what the Ming Dynasty currently uses. We're talking about a technological leap that could change warfare. Cannons, firearms, explosives, all upgraded beyond what any nation on Earth can produce right now. The world is big, I think, grinning in the dark of my tent. And I've got time. Steel refinement. Advanced gunpowder. Cultivation techniques. Superhuman stats. Military rank. Gold. If I ever decide to leave the Ming Dynasty and carve out my own empire somewhere, I've got everything I need to build a civilization from scratch. Superior weapons, superior materials, superior firepower. Every emperor in history would kill for what's sitting in my inventory right now. But that's future plans. For now, let me extract the archery mastery and feel that sweet, sweet knowledge download. The skill hits my brain like a thunderbolt. Suddenly, everything about archery makes sense. The way your body aligns, the way your eyes track movement, the way your fingers know exactly when to release. It's not just aiming anymore. It's art. It's science. It's pure instinct crystallized into muscle memory. Strength for power. Eyes for tracking. Feeling for timing. 3 months in the army. 10 treasure chests. A cultivation method. 2 combat techniques. An archery mastery. A rapid-fire skill. A fist technique. A graded bow. Upgraded weapons. A healing pill. Industrial Revolution level manufacturing secrets. Advanced military technology. 600 taels of gold. And stats that make me stronger than any human alive. The Shin family sent me here to die in obscurity. Instead, I'm becoming something this world has never seen before. I extract the remaining 3 combat techniques, and they are all graded. Let me explain. In this world, there's a massive difference between ungraded and graded skills. Ungraded is like a bicycle. Graded is a Ferrari. The grades go yellow, mystic, earth, heaven. Everything I got is yellow tier, which is the lowest grade, but even the lowest grade is infinitely better than an O grade. Wild Dance Saber Technique. Aggressive, dominating, absolutely brutal with a blade. Love it. Divine Arrow Barrage. Lets me fire arrows in rapid succession, turning my already deadly archery into a machine gun. Combined with my 500-something strength stat, each arrow hits like a ballista bolt, and now I can fire them back to back to back. Enemy Cavalry. More like enemy target practice. Mountain Crushing Fist, a bare fist technique that doesn't just use my strength, it multiplies it. Several times over. Meaning if I punch someone with nearly 600 points of raw power amplified by this technique, I don't even want to think about what happens to the other guy. Actually, yes I do. He explodes. Unlike the archery mastery that downloaded instantly, these 3 need actual practice. But hey, I'm heading into a war campaign. The entire northern frontier is about to become my personal training ground. Then I pull out the treasure-carved bow. A beautiful black and gold longbow materializes in my hands. The moment I grip it, I can feel the weight. This thing is built for serious power. Treasure-carved bow, yellow grade mid-tier. Armor-piercing property. The stronger the user, the more powerful the shot. The stronger I am, the harder it hits. So it scales with me. This bow will never become obsolete. As my strength climbs into the thousands, this bow will just keep hitting harder. It's the gift that keeps on giving. I also pull out the fine steel long saber, a cavalry weapon with an iron handle and a precision-forged steel blade. This thing weighs 50 or 60 Gene. A normal soldier couldn't even lift it one-handed. For me, it feels like swinging a stick. Now, the authority seal. When I was a small banner leader, my seal gave my 10 soldiers a 10% boost to combat power, morale, and endurance. That tiny buff probably kept all 10 of my rookies alive through the battle yesterday. Now I'm a 1,000-man commander. Generate 1,000-man commander authority seal. 1,000-man commander seal. All soldiers under your command gain 60% combat power, 60% morale, 60% endurance. From 10% to 60. 5 rank promotions turned a little nudge into a massive buff. My entire cavalry company just became 60% stronger, 60% braver, and 60% more tireless than any equivalent unit in the entire Ming army. And none of them will ever know why. They'll just think their new commander is really inspiring or something. But here's the important strategic shift. At the 1,000-man commander level, personal kill counts don't matter for promotions anymore. I can't just stab my way to the next rank. I need to win battles, command victories, strategic achievements, which means making my soldiers better is now just as important as making myself stronger. This seal is going to be my secret weapon. I spend the rest of the night cultivating the iron body technique. 10 points of strength, constitution, and endurance per session, like clockwork. Morning comes. I gear up in my new 1,000-man commander armor. Heavier, thicker, and way more impressive than anything I've worn before. Strap on my saber. Step outside. And there's Lu Lei, standing at attention with 50 soldiers lined up behind him in perfect formation. 1,000-man commander Zhu, guard captain Lu Lei, and 50 personal guards, reporting for duty. All 50 drop to their knees simultaneously. I stare at this scene for a moment. 50 men, kneeling. For me. 3 months ago, I was a scared kid holding a bow for the first time. Now I have a personal army within an army. This, I think, is what power feels like. Rise. Thank you, Commander. Lu Lei hands me the roster of all 50 guards. I'm scanning through names when I hear heavy footsteps approaching. General Chun Hung strolls up with his own bodyguard escort. He takes one look at my assembled guards, nods approvingly, and then walks right up to them. His face goes stone cold. Do you all understand what being a personal guard means? Lu Lei answers. We protect the 1,000-man commander with our lives, sir. Correct. But let me make it crystal clear. Chen Heng's voice drops to something that could freeze fire. On the battlefield, your job is to take the blade meant for him. If Zhuing dies, and any of you are still breathing, you die too. That's not a threat. That's the law. The emperor himself decreed it. A commander falls, his guards follow. Your life is no longer your own. It belongs to him. Nobody flinches. Nobody blinks. We understand, SIR. Good. You'll also receive higher pay than regular soldiers. That's the trade. Better money. But your life is on the line for one man. Then he turns to me with a much warmer expression. Ready to meet your cavalry? Absolutely. We walk to the 1st Cavalry Company's camp. What's left of them is already assembled. Only about 600 or 700 out of the original 1,000. Yesterday's battle chewed through nearly a third of the unit. Attention, Chen Hung announces. This is your new 1,000-man commander, Zhuing. He commands this company effective immediately. 2 vice commanders step forward, Zhang Wu and Fan Qing. Both older than me. Both clearly veterans. Both looking at the teenager who's about to become their boss. But they bow without hesitation. We greet 1,000-man commander Zhu. No complaints. No resentment. Because word has already spread through the entire camp about what I did yesterday. 103 kills. The enemy general's head. The fallen battle flag. In the Ming military, that kind of reputation doesn't need an introduction. It needs a salute. Zhang Wu and Fan Qing bow to me without a shred of hesitation. These two are veterans. They've been fighting on the border for years. And they're bowing to a 14-year-old. Now, here's a fun little secret that only I know. Zhang Wu, this guy standing in front of me as my vice commander? In the future, he becomes one of the most celebrated warriors of the Ming dynasty. When Zhu Di launches the Jingnan Rebellion decades from now, Zhang Wu becomes one of his key generals and gets posthumously elevated to the rank of Duke, a national-level hero. And right now he's saying, yes, sir, to me. Knowing the future is the ultimate cheat code. Every person I meet, I already know if they're going to be important. It's like having everyone's Wikipedia page tattooed on the inside of my eyelids. General Chun Hung gives me the rundown before he leaves. The cavalry company took heavy losses. They were the spearhead yesterday. You've got 3 days to get familiar with your unit. After that, we march again. More Jurchens to kill. 3 days to learn how to command 700 cavalry soldiers when I've never commanded more than 10? Sure. No pressure. Totally fine. How many do we have left? I asked Zhang Wu after Chen Hung leaves. 689, sir. Nearly a third of the company is gone. Dead or too wounded to fight. These guys charged headfirst into the Jurchen cavalry yesterday and paid for it in blood. The number hits different when you stood on that same battlefield and saw the bodies. The men are assembled and waiting for you to address them, sir, Fanqing says. I walk to the front of the formation. Nearly 700 battle-hardened cavalry soldiers stare back at me. Some curious, some skeptical, all of them sizing up the kid who's supposed to lead them into the next fight. Greetings, 1,000-man commander. 700 voices hit me like a wall of sound. The sheer force of it vibrates my armor. These aren't scared recruits. These are Ming Dynasty border cavalry, the most elite soldiers in the empire. They've been fighting Mongols and Jurchens their entire careers. Time to earn their respect. Some of you know my name. Some of you don't. Doesn't matter. Starting today, I'm your brother on the battlefield. I pause. Let the silence build. I will always charge ahead of you. Not behind. Not beside. In front. That is my promise. More silence. Every eye is locked on me. A general who doesn't risk death has no right to ask his soldiers to die. I will never hide. Never retreat. Never ask you to go somewhere I won't go first. I let my voice drop to something cold and final. And if I ever run from a fight, if I ever turn coward, any man here has my permission to cut off my head. Zhang Wu and Fan Qing both visibly flinch. They did not expect that from a 14-year-old who just got promoted yesterday. But the soldiers? The soldiers erupt. We will follow 1,000-man commander Zhu to the death. To the death. 700 veterans screaming loyalty at a teenager. Not because of my age or my face or my background. Because in the Ming military, words don't matter. Actions do. And every man on this field has already heard what I did yesterday. 103 kills. The enemy general's head. The fallen flag. They don't see a kid. They see a killer. And killers get respect. Meanwhile, 1,000 miles south in the imperial capital of Nanjing, the real power players are having their morning meeting. Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang is sitting on the dragon throne looking like he could murder the concept of mercy itself. Crown Prince Zhu Biao is standing on the steps below him, radiating calm authority. The entire court of ministers is lined up on both sides of the hall. All hail the emperor. 10,000 years. 10,000 years. 10,000 times 10,000 years. Rise. The Minister of Revenue steps forward first. Your Majesty, the supply operation is proceeding as ordered. Grain and military supplies have been collected from 8 prefectures, including Shuntian and Baoding. Shipments are already heading to Daning and Beiping. Within 2 weeks, we'll have enough provisions for 200,000 soldiers for 5 months, with more on the way. Well done, Zhu Yuanzhang says. That's probably the nicest thing he said to a government official in weeks. Then the Minister of War reports in. Your Majesty, the Duke of Song and all commanding generals have departed for Daning. 200,000 soldiers are being mobilized from multiple prefectures. The entire force will be assembled within 1 month, ready to attack the northern Yuan. Zhu Yuanzhang's eyes flash with something between excitement and cold fury. We've been planning this for a long time. It's finally happening. Send my decree to General Feng Sheng. I want Naha Chu's head brought to me. Take back all of Liaodong. Yes, Your Majesty. Then the terrifying emperor turns to his son, and his entire demeanor shifts to worried dad mode. Biaoer, how's Daning going? The bandit suppression campaign is serving its real purpose, drawing Northern Yuan's attention. I believe we should have results from Daning soon, and right on cue. As if the universe has a flair for dramatic timing. Urgent report. Victory dispatch from Daning Prefecture. A messenger bursts into the throne room. My battle report. The one with my name on it. The one that says, 1 soldier killed 103 enemies and decapitated their general. That report is about to land in front of the most powerful man on earth. And I'm 1,000 miles away, standing in front of my new cavalry company, completely unaware that the Emperor of China is about to learn my name. Urgent report. Victory dispatch from Daning Prefecture. A messenger bursts into the throne room of the most powerful empire on earth, runs past hundreds of ministers, and drops to his knees. Your Majesty, victory from Daning, Zhu Yuanzhang. The man, the myth, the walking execution order, opens the bamboo scroll, reads the main battle report, and breaks into a huge grin. Ha ha ha. Buwan did well. Our forces crushed the Jurchens, 6,000 killed, 3,000 captured, only 4,000 of ours lost. Excellent work. Every minister in the hall immediately starts kissing the imperial boots. Congratulations, Your Majesty. This victory is your blessing. The Ming dynasty shines eternal. Standard court behavior. Nothing interesting. But then, Zhu Yuanzhang notices there's a second document rolled up behind the main report. A smaller, separate battle summary. He unfolds it, reads the first line, and his eyebrows shoot up so high they nearly leave his face. Huh. The entire court goes silent. When the emperor says, huh, people stop breathing. Biao, read this. Crown Prince Zhu Biao takes the report, reads it, and his calm, composed expression actually cracks. There's a soldier this fierce. Now everyone is dying of curiosity. A military official steps forward. Your Highness, has something happened in Daning? Read it aloud, Zhu Biao says, handing the report to a court eunuch. The eunuch clears his throat and projects his voice across the entire hall. Prefect Buwan reports to His Majesty. In the battle against the Jurchen border forces, a small banner leader named Zhu Ying demonstrated extraordinary valor. Fighting alone deep within enemy lines, he slew 103 enemy soldiers, 45 by arrow and 58 by blade. He personally killed the Jurchen commanding general and captured their battle flag, causing the complete collapse of enemy morale and enabling our forces to achieve total victory. Per Your Majesty's military merit code, he has been promoted 5 ranks to 1,000-man commander. You could hear a pin drop in that throne room. Then the whispers explode. 103? One man? Is this report even real? That's not humanly possible. The Duke of Kaiping, Chang Yechen himself, the most ferocious warrior who helped found this dynasty. His personal record was 78 kills in a single battle against Chun Yuliang. This kid beat that. You can't kill 100 chickens that fast, let alone Jurchen warriors. But military kill counts are verified by the Inspector General's office. Multiple layers of confirmation. You can't fake those numbers. Maybe the Ming dynasty really did just produce a monster. The ministers are arguing with each other, some convinced it's real, some thinking it's too insane to believe. But here's the thing about Ming military records. They're bulletproof. The Inspector General's office exists specifically to prevent merit fraud. Every kill is verified independently. Lying on a battle report is a death sentence. Nobody is stupid enough to forge numbers that go to the emperor's desk. Crown Prince Zhu Biao turns to his father. Congratulations, father. A warrior of this caliber appearing in our military is a blessing for the entire dynasty. He should be cultivated carefully. Zhu Yuanzhang is smiling, but his eyes have gone somewhere far away. He's remembering something. Decades ago, the war against Chun Yuliang, the battle that decided who would rule southern China. His sworn brother, Chang Yechen, the man they called the god of war, standing before him, grinning like a maniac. Boss, just sit tight. Watch me personally butcher every one of Chun Yuliang's boys. But after I win, you're giving me his warhorse. Don't let Suda snag it first. Then Chang Yechen charged into battle and killed 78 men in a single day. Even cut down Chun Yuliang's son with one swing. And afterward, Zhu Yuanzhang grabbed Chang Yechen's hand, raised it in front of the entire army, and shouted, "See this? This is my brother. This is the god of war of our army." That memory flashes through the old emperor's mind. His best friend, his most ferocious general, dead for years now. And today, some kid in Daning broke his record. Father, Zhu Biao's voice pulls him back. Zhu Yuanzhang blinks, then laughs. You're right, son. A warrior like this is a blessing for our Ming dynasty. What was his name again? The emperor who memorizes the faces of officials he's about to execute forgot my name because he was too busy being shocked by the kill count. He scrambles for the report. Father, his name is Zhuing. Zhuing, something flickers across the emperor's face. A tiny tremor, like a distant bell ringing in his memory. Zhu, the same surname. But it passes quickly. Send my decree. Buwan's promotion was correct. In My Empire, merit is always rewarded. Have the Ministry of War circulate Zhu Ying's battle results to every unit in the entire military. Let every soldier in the Ming army know what one man achieved. Let it inspire them. Yes, Your Majesty. And one more thing. Daning's border army just poked the hornet's nest. The Northern Yuan and the Jurchens are going to come back hard. Tell Buwan to hold the line. Whatever comes at him, hold. Our real main force is on the way. The Daning army is the bait. The 200,000 soldiers marching north? That's the real dish. The emperor's smile turns cold and predatory. Naha Chu thinks Daning is our main army. Let him. By the time he realizes the truth, our real force will already be at his throat. And 1,000 miles north, completely unaware that the Emperor of China just said my name out loud in front of the entire imperial court, completely unaware that my battle report is about to be circulated to every single military unit in the empire, completely unaware that Zhu Yuanzhang's heart skipped a beat when he heard the surname, Zhu. I'm sitting by a campfire, eating flatbread, trying to figure out when I can sneak away to open my treasure chests. My name is now in the emperor's head. The crown prince wants to cultivate me. Every soldier in the Ming dynasty is about to hear what I did. And I'm over here wondering if the next batch of treasure chests will finally give me something better than yellow grade. Priorities. Now, I wasn't in the imperial palace when this happened, obviously. But word travels in the Ming dynasty, especially when it involves the emperor crying in a sealed palace. Servants talk, guards talk, and eventually, the stories reach the army. So here's what I pieced together later. After the morning court session where my battle report made every minister in Nanjing choke on their own spit, Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang didn't go back to his office. He went to Cunning Palace, the one place in the entire Forbidden City that's OFF limits. Sealed. Guarded. Nobody enters except him and Crown Prince Zhu Biao. Because inside that palace are 3 memorial tablets. The first one doesn't say Empress Ma, or Her Imperial Majesty, or any royal title. It just says, Wife, Ma Xiaoying. Because this tablet wasn't set up by Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang. It was set up by Zhu Chongba, the peasant boy, the orphan monk, the man who existed before the crown. In this room, he's not an emperor. He's just a husband who lost his wife. The second tablet, daughter-in-law, Chang Waner. That's Zhu Biao's first wife, the daughter of the legendary General Chang Yechen. The third, eldest grandson, Zhu Xiangying, the crown prince's firstborn son. Dead at 8 years old. The incense in front of those tablets has never gone out. Not once. For years. Zhu Yuanzhang is standing there, staring at his wife's name, looking every bit his age. Zhu Biao walks in. Dad, light some incense for your mother, Zhu Biao does. No hesitation. He lights the incense and places it in the burner, eyes fixed on the 3 tablets of the people he loved most. How many years has it been? Zhu Yuanzhang asks, voice distant. Mom and Xiangying have been gone 6 years. Sister Chang, 10 years. Time really is a sharp knife, the old emperor whispers. Cuts everything away before you notice. Then he turns to his son, eyes soft in a way that would make every minister in court faint from shock if they saw it. Today in court, that battle report. It made me think of your father-in-law, Chang Yechen. Remember what he said before the battle against Qin Youyang? He walked up to me, grinning like an idiot, and said, Boss, just sit back. I'll personally deliver Qin Youyang's head, but you OWE me his warhorse afterward. Don't let Suda steal it. Zhu Yuanzhang almost smiles. Almost. He killed 78 men that day, cut down Qin Youyang's son with one swing. I grabbed his hand afterward and held it up in front of the entire army. This is my brother. This is our god of war. His voice cracks. But time keeps moving. Your father-in-law is gone. Your Uncle Su is gone. One by one, everyone leaves. Dad. That's all in the past. If Xiangying were still alive, Zhu Yuanzhang says quietly, staring at the smallest tablet, he'd be 14 this year. The same age as me. Not that either of them knows that. Zhu Biao freezes. And suddenly he's not the crown prince anymore. He's a father remembering his dead son. A memory crashes into his mind. This very palace. Years ago, a little boy sprinting through the halls, laughing, while a younger Zhu Biao chased him with a bamboo switch. You little brat. You skipped class again. And you dragged your 12th uncle and 17th uncle to go raid bird nests? I'm going to tan your hide. Little Xiangying ran straight to Empress Ma, buried his face in her robes, and wailed, Grandma, Daddy's gone crazy again. He wants to kill me. All he does is make me read books. I'm just a kid. Empress Ma wrapped her arms around him and shot Zhu Biao a death glare. Leave the boy alone. He's tiny. What if he falls and hurts himself? Mom, he's not studying. He's corrupting his own uncles. Then Zhu Yuanzhang walked out. What's all this noise? But the moment he saw little Xiangying, the scariest man in China melted like butter in the sun. He crouched down, arms open. Xiangying, come to Grandpa. Grandpa, the little boy ran straight into Zhu Yuanzhang's arms with the sweetest smile in the world. Ha ha ha. My big grandson got taller. And heavier. The Emperor of China, conqueror of nations, destroyer of corrupt officials, currently bouncing a giggling child on his knee like the world's most dangerous babysitter. That memory fades. Zhu Biao stands in the empty palace, looking at the tablets, thinking, Mom. Xiongying. Sister Chong, are you okay? Wherever you are. Meanwhile, 1,000 miles north of that tearful family moment, I'm doing something considerably less emotional. I'm on horseback, leading several hundred cavalry soldiers, surrounding a group of fleeing Jurchen soldiers and the civilians they're escorting. Surrender and live. Resist and die, I shout, long saber raised. One Jurchen soldier spits on the ground. Curse you Ming dogs. Our tribe would rather die than surrender. Warriors, fight. He charges straight at my cavalry line, screaming, blade raised. I look at this man running at several hundred mounted soldiers with nothing but a sword and pure stubbornness, and I think, respect the courage. But you're still dying. Kill. I kick my horse forward. The cavalry surges behind me. The emperor is crying over his dead grandson in a sealed palace. And I'm out here adding to my kill count like it's a part-time job. The Ming dynasty is a place of contrasts. One swing. That's all it takes. The Jurchen soldier who charged at me is now in 2 pieces. Well, 1 piece and 1 head. Killed Jurchen infantry. Picked up 20 endurance. But I don't stop. My horse is moving. My blade is swinging. And Jurchen soldiers are dropping like they're allergic to steel. Picked up 20 strength. Picked up 20 speed. 3 more dead in the time it takes a normal person to blink. My cavalry follows my lead. 700 riders descend on this group of Jurchen soldiers like wolves on a chicken coop. 100-something Jurchen fighters try to resist. They last about 30 seconds. After the soldiers are all dead, we're left with over 1,000 Jurchen civilians surrounded by my cavalry. They're staring at us with a mix of terror and hatred. Zhang Wu rides up. Commander, what do we do with these people? I look at him. If our people fell into their hands, what would happen? Zhang Wu doesn't even pause. Men killed. Women violated. He's not guessing. He's reporting. This is the northern frontier. When the Mongols or Jurchens raid Ming villages, they wipe them out. Every man dead. Every woman taken. No mercy. No rules. Just pure, primitive slaughter. And I know something Zhang Wu doesn't. I know what these Jurchen descendants do to China centuries from now. The Yangzhou massacre. 10 days of butchering civilians. The Jiaoding 3 slaughters. Keep your hair, lose your head. Keep your head, lose your hair. Millions of Han Chinese murdered. The entire nation dragged into slavery. I can see that future. And I refuse to let it happen. Anyone taller than a wagon wheel. Kill them cold? Yes. War? Also yes. We can't feed them. Our own supplies are limited. We can't guard them. We need every soldier for combat. And releasing healthy fighting-age men who'll just pick up weapons again next week? That's called stupidity. Yes, Commander. Zhang Wu and Fan Qing relay the order. The cavalry dismounts. What happens next is not pleasant to listen to. I watch without flinching. Not because I enjoy it. Because I understand what war is. If the situation were reversed, these people wouldn't leave a single Ming civilian breathing. Not one. War, I think, staring at the aftermath. This is what it really looks like. But then my thoughts go somewhere bigger. This era belongs to the Ming dynasty. But in the future, these Jurchens conquer China and enslave the Han people for centuries. The traitors who helped them, the generals who surrendered, the collaborators who betrayed their own blood. I'm here now. And I'm going to live a very long time, thanks to my lifespan stat. Long enough to build an army. Long enough to build a nation. Long enough to make sure that future never happens. If I have to personally exterminate every threat to the Han people for the next 500 years, then that's what I'll do. I didn't ask to be reborn here. But since I am here, I might as well change everything. Heavy thoughts for a 14-year-old on a horse. But I've got the stats of a demigod and the knowledge of someone born 6 centuries later. If anyone can rewrite history, it's me. Zhang Wu rides back. Commander, all targets dealt with. Orders, take all their food supplies. Then we ride north to rejoin the main army. And from now on, every Jurchen group we encounter gets the same treatment. Kill the fighters. Take their food. Let the rest try to make it back to their tribe on foot. If they survive the walk, they'll just drain their own tribe's resources. Yes, commander, efficient, brutal, strategic. Every mouth they have to feed back home is one less sword pointed at us. We ride north. The Jurchen border settlements have completely collapsed. Everyone's fleeing deeper into their territory, running toward the main tribal stronghold. The Ming army is chasing them like a hunting pack, picking off stragglers and scattered units. The border tribes are finished, I think. But this is just the appetizer. The real Jurchen army is gathering, and they've definitely sent a message to the northern Yuan begging for help, which means Nahachu is about to get involved, which means the real war is coming, which means the real stat. Farming hasn't even started yet. Deep in Jurchen territory, at the main tribal capital, their chief Ahachu is sitting on his throne looking way too relaxed for a man whose border forces just got annihilated. One of his generals rushes in. Chief, the Ming army is slaughtering our people. They've already killed over 10,000 warriors and are approaching the Blue Banner settlement. We need reinforcements now. Ahachu waves his hand dismissively. Relax. The Ming won't last. But Chief, I've already contacted the Great Yuan. General Nahachu is sending reinforcements. The Mongol army is on its way. So that's why he's calm. He's betting everything on the northern Yuan riding to the rescue. Classic vassal move. Pick a fight you can't win, then call daddy for backup. But there's more. One of his smarter generals speaks up. Chief, the Han Chinese are not who they were under Mongol rule anymore. They've killed 10,000 of our warriors, taken thousands of horses, slaughtered tens of thousands of our civilians. If we keep this up, we might not survive. Ahachu's eyes go hot with greed. If it were just our tribe against the Ming, we'd lose. But the Great Yuan still has 1 million soldiers. They will retake China. And when they do, Nahachu promised us something. Fertile land in Liaodong. A chance to move south. Only the Yuan Emperor's most loyal vassals get that kind of reward, so that's his game. He's not fighting for survival. He's fighting for real estate. Nahachu dangled a piece of prime Liaodong territory in front of him, and this guy sold his entire tribe's safety for a land deal. Merchants trade goods for profit. Chiefs trade lives for land. Same greed, different currency. Well, Chief Ahachu, I've got some bad news. 200,000 Ming soldiers are currently marching toward Nahachu's throat. Your Great Yuan savior is about to have much bigger problems than sending you help. But go ahead. Keep waiting for those reinforcements. I'm sure they'll arrive any day now. 70 miles north of the Daning border, we've set up camp in what used to be a Jurchen settlement. Keyword, used to. The command tent is packed. Every officer ranked 1,000-man commander and above is here. Prefect Buwan is at the head table looking like a scholar who accidentally joined the army, which is basically what he is. Chen Heng and Lu Zhen flank him on both sides. Report, Buwan says. Chen Heng stands. Sir, we've been pushing north continuously. The Jurchens keep retreating. We've killed plenty along the way, but we haven't found their main stronghold. Our scouts report a sizable Jurchen settlement about 30 miles ahead with significant defensive forces. What's their game? Buwan asks. They won't fight, but they won't surrender either. Simple, Chen Heng says. They're stalling, waiting for northern Yuan reinforcements. They want us to chase them deeper into the frontier. The further we go, the longer our supply lines stretch, and the more vulnerable we become. So we can't keep pushing. If we go deeper and the Yuan army hits us from the east, while the Jurchens pin us from the north, we're trapped. No supplies. Enemies on two sides. Total annihilation. Buwan nods slowly. He's smart enough to know he doesn't know military strategy, and he's been hands-off with the tactical decisions this whole campaign. Rare quality in a bureaucrat. So what do? Keep attacking? Or pull back? Chen Heng turns to the room. Generals, suggestions? Every officer in the tent suddenly finds their boots extremely interesting. Nobody wants to say, retreat, because that sounds cowardly. Nobody wants to say, advance, because that sounds suicidal. It's the classic military leadership moment where everyone hopes someone else will stick their neck out first. Time for me to open my big mouth. Sir, I have a suggestion. 1,000-man Commander Zhu, go ahead. Buwan's face lights up. He remembers me. Of course he remembers me. My battle report is probably framed on his office wall. The Northern Yuan has almost certainly deployed forces already. But they won't send them to help the Jurchens. Lu Zhen frowns. They won't help their own allies? No. They'll attack Daning Prefecture directly. Cut off our retreat route. Then let the Jurchens pin us down from the north. No food, no escape. Enemies everywhere. We collapse without them lifting a finger against us specifically. The tent goes quiet. Buwan's face turns several shades paler. Daning has tens of thousands of troops garrisoning it, plus the city walls, Chun Hung counters. They can't take it easily. General, Nahachu has hundreds of thousands of soldiers in Liaodong. He's been waiting for exactly this kind of opportunity. He's not going to send a polite raiding party. He's going to send a tidal wave, more silence. The kind of silence where you can hear people's career aspirations dying. So what do you propose? Buwan asks me directly. Here's where I drop the bomb. Stop chasing the Jurchens. Leave a small cavalry force to keep them pinned and distracted. Take the main army east and attack Nahachu's Liaodong territory. Every officer in the tent stares at me like I just suggested we invade the moon. Are you insane? You just said Nahachu has hundreds of thousands of troops, and you want us to attack him. We have less than 20,000 men. That's suicide. I say we retreat to Daning and defend the walls. I agree. Falling back is the safe play. Retreat and hold. Retreat and hold. Half the tent is screaming at me like I've lost my mind. But I'm watching Chun Heng's face, and I can see the gears turning behind his eyes. He gets it. I think 1,000-man Commander Zhu's plan has merit, Chun Heng says calmly, and the room goes silent again. If we retreat to Daning, we're playing defense. We sit behind walls while Nahachu chooses when and where to attack. But if we strike east into Liaodong instead, we force Nahachu to react to us. He'll have to pull forces back to deal with our attack, which takes pressure off Daning. We buy time for the Emperor's main army to arrive. And, most importantly, we don't ruin the grand strategy. Lucian nods. I agree. Retreating to Daning looks safe, but it hands all initiative to the enemy. Attacking east is crazy, but it's the kind of crazy that actually works. Buwan looks at his two top generals, both agreeing with the teenager who just proposed the most reckless plan in the room, and decides. Then we do it. Now, who volunteers to stay behind with the cavalry force? Your job is to keep the Jurchens occupied. Fight when you can, retreat when you must. Just make sure they don't march south to reinforce anyone. He scans the room. Nobody volunteers. And I understand why. A few thousand cavalry against a tribe of over 1 million people? If the Jurchens send their full army, that tiny force gets swallowed whole. It's the most dangerous job on the table by a factor of 10. No one, Buwan asks again. This is a major merit opportunity. Whoever pulls this off will be recognized personally. Still nothing. Merit doesn't matter much when you're dead. I step forward. I'll do it. Give me the cavalry. I'll keep the Jurchens busy. Every officer in the tent turns to look at me. Some impressed. Most thinking I'm a reckless idiot with a death wish. Kids got no fear, someone whispers. Kids got no brains, someone else mutters. Yeah. Keep talking. You're looking at a guy with stats in the 500s, a graded bow that pierces armor, a cultivation technique that makes him stronger every night, and the ability to pick up power from every single corpse on the battlefield. You want to know why I volunteered? Because a small independent cavalry force, operating freely in enemy territory, with no one watching over my shoulder? That's not a death sentence. That's an unlimited stat farming operation with zero supervision. General Chun Heng locks eyes with me. Zhuing, are you sure about this? His voice says, I'm asking as your superior officer. His eyes say, please don't be an idiot. Absolutely sure, sir. Prefect Buwan leans forward. How many soldiers do you need? This mission isn't about numbers. It's about quality. Fast horses, tough riders. Give me 4,000 cavalry on top of my 700, enough dried rations, and I'll keep every Jurchen in the north too busy to look south. 4,000 cavalry plus my guys. With my stats, my authority seal giving everyone a 60% combat buff, and the fact that I literally get stronger with every kill, that's not a suicide squad. That's a self-improving war machine. Buwan turns to Chin Hong. How many cavalry do we have? Close to 10,000, sir. Buwan picks up his brush. And then he does something that makes every jaw in the tent hit the floor. Zhuing, for your willingness to accept this mission, I am temporarily promoting you to Deputy Garrison Commander. You will command 5,000 cavalry, 1,000 more than you asked for. For additional 1,000-man commanders will be assigned under you. You have absolute authority over these 5,000 men. Any officer who disobeys your orders will be executed under military law. He writes the commission, stamps it with the big seal, and hands it over. Deputy Garrison Commander. That's one rank above 1,000-man commander. I'm now commanding 5,000 soldiers. I went from small banner leader to deputy garrison commander in roughly a week. The Shin family sent me to die as a nobody. I'm climbing the military ladder so fast, I'm getting altitude sickness. Every officer who refused this mission 5 minutes ago is now wearing the expression of a man who just watched someone else pick up a winning lottery ticket. I should have volunteered. Why didn't I raise my hand? That kid is going to come back as a general. Yeah, regret tastes bitter, doesn't it, gentlemen? I won't let you down, sir. I bow, officially accepting the commission. And then, because the universe has incredible comedic timing, urgent report. Emergency dispatch from Daning's reserve garrison. Northern Yuan forces in Liaodong are mobilizing. Naha Chu appears to be preparing an assault on Daning Prefecture. Requesting orders. The tent goes dead silent. Every single officer slowly turns to look at me, because literally 5 minutes ago, I stood right here and said, the Northern Yuan won't reinforce the Jurchens. They'll attack Daning directly. And now a messenger just ran in confirming exactly that. The officers who called my plan insane are currently reevaluating their entire lives. Buwan is staring at me with new eyes. I can practically hear his thoughts. This kid isn't just a fighter. He's a strategist. I need to invest in this one hard. General Lu Jin speaks up. Sir, with the Yuan threatening Daning, you should return to the city personally. The garrison needs leadership. Chen Hung nods. I agree. The prefect should secure Daning while Lu Jun and I handle the eastern strike into Liaodong. Buwan agrees. He's a civilian administrator. Staying in the field with these military maniacs was already pushing it. Getting back to his walls and his desk is honestly the smart move. Orders fly. The army reorganizes at speed. 5,000 cavalry get reassigned to my command. The supply corps starts cranking out dried rations like their lives depend on it, which, given Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang's management style, they probably do. Chen Hung finds me after the meeting. His face is a masterpiece of conflicted emotions. You absolute lunatic. General, you seem upset. Upset? You just volunteered for the most dangerous assignment in this entire campaign. 5,000 cavalry in open steppe against a tribe with 1 million people who can field 70 or 80,000 fighters. And if the Yuan sends reinforcements? You're dead. General, if I didn't volunteer, someone else would have had to. Nobody volunteered. That's the point. Because it's insane, but I got promoted though. That's nice. Chen Hing stares at me for a full 3 seconds, then just deflates. What do you need from me? Anything. Name it. Extra arrows. I want every rider carrying 2 full quivers instead of 1. Done. That's it. That's IT? You're taking 5,000 men into enemy territory against potentially tens of thousands, and all you want is extra arrows. The supply corps is already handling food and water. Arrows are the only thing I'm short on. Chen Hung searches my face for any sign of fear. He doesn't find any. Anything else? Messages to send home? Family to notify? He pauses. In case. General, are you asking me to write my will? I'm asking you to be practical. You're literally asking me to dictate my last words right now. While I'm standing here, alive, Chen Hung doesn't even blink. Dead serious. I sigh. I used to have my grandmother. Now it's just me. Well, me and an old butler who raised me. That's everyone. The weight of that sentence hangs in the air between us. A 14-year-old with no family, no home, no safety net. Just a sword, a horse, and 5,000 men riding into a fight that everyone in that tent thinks is a one-way trip. Chen Hing puts his hand on my shoulder. He doesn't say anything else. He doesn't need to. But here's what he doesn't know. I'm not scared because I don't need to be scared. My stats are climbing towards 600 across the board. I have a cultivation technique making me stronger every night. I have a graded bow that pierces armor. I have combat techniques that multiply my already insane power. And every enemy I kill makes me harder to kill. This isn't a suicide mission. This is 5,000 soldiers escorting their commander to an all-you-can-eat buffet. Chen Heng is looking at me like I just told him I have a terminal illness. Which, to be fair, from his perspective, I basically did. I just volunteered for a mission everyone thinks is a one-way ticket to the afterlife. General, relax. I'll come back alive. And when I do, I'm buying you drinks. No, he says, forcing a smile. When you come back, I'm buying you drinks. Deal? I give him a fist salute and turn to leave. I can feel his eyes on my back the whole way. I know what he's thinking. This kid is 14. Fine. His papers say 16. He's already a 1,000-man commander. His future is limitless, and he's charging into a death trap like he's going grocery shopping. Why? Good question, General. The answer is, because I get superpowers from killing people, and I'm basically playing a video game inside a real war. But I can't exactly tell you that. Back at my tent, I pull up my stats. Strength, 654 speed, 612 constitution, 531 endurance, 525 spirit, 512 lifespan, 88 years 1,456 days storage, 5 cubic meters. Every single stat has broken 500. Days of continuous fighting, corpse touching, and nighttime cultivation are paying off in massive numbers. My lifespan alone has gained almost 4 years since I started. I could bench press a horse. I could outrun a horse. I could probably fight a horse and the horse would lose. And ding, milestone reward for all stats passing 500. Open treasure chest. Obtained. Yellow grade low tier Bigu pill times 5 bottles. Bigu pills. Fasting pills. Pop one and you don't need to eat for days. In a normal cultivation novel, these are basically fancy breath mints. But for a cavalry commander about to spend weeks in enemy territory with limited supplies, these are worth their weight in gold. Between the pills, my 5 cubic meters of storage space, which is mostly empty, and the dried rations the supply corps is preparing, I could survive. Out there for months if I had to. I head to the supply depot and start stuffing my invisible pocket dimension with arrows, dried food, and water containers. Nobody sees a thing. They just see their commander personally inspecting supplies. What a diligent young officer. Meanwhile, in Beiping Prefecture, a certain prince is having his morning briefing. Zhu Di, the 4th prince, the future Yongle emperor, the man who will one day burn his nephew off the throne and seize the entire empire. Right now he's sitting in his princely palace, looking every bit the ambitious wolf in royal clothing. Your Highness, the Ministry of War has issued mobilization orders. 40,000 of our Beiping troops are to march to Daning and join the campaign against the northern Yuan. We keep 10,000 for border defense. Who's leading the main army? Zhu Di asks. The Duke of Song, Your Highness. He's already approaching Daning territory. Fine. Zhang Yu, you're my garrison commander. Make sure our Beiping troops don't embarrass me out there, Zhang Yu boasts. I won't let you down, Your Highness. Oh, Zhang Yu. Another future history maker. This guy becomes one of Zhu Di's most crucial generals during the Jingnan Rebellion. Right now he's a loyal military officer. In 20 years he'll be helping overthrow an emperor. I'm surrounded by future legends, and none of them know it yet. It's like attending a high school reunion where everyone becomes famous later. By the way, Zhu Di asks casually, how's the Daning campaign going? Zhang Yu pulls out a secret intelligence report. Your Highness, there's something interesting. Zhu Di reads it. His eyebrows climb. Who is this Zhuing? Single-handedly killed 103 enemies? Slew the enemy commander? Captured their battle flag? He's a new recruit, Your Highness. Been in the army less than 4 months. For months? Zhu Di's composure actually cracks for a second. My entire Beiping garrison of 50,000 men doesn't have anyone that fierce. What a waste that he's not under my command. Zhang Yu leans in. Your Highness, should we perhaps reach out to him? Quietly. Bring him into our circle. Zhu Di's eyes snap to Zhang Yu. Cold. Dangerous. Zhang Yu drops to his knees instantly. Forgive me, Your Highness. I overstepped. Go prepare the troops. But then, softer. If you happen to encounter this person during the campaign, you may make contact. Casually. Nothing obvious. Understood, Your Highness. Zhang Yu leaves. And the moment the door closes, Zhu Di speaks into the empty room. Except it's not empty. You're pushing too hard. Father is alive. My eldest brother is healthy and strong. You want to get me killed? From the shadows of the inner chamber, a deep voice answers. Ba. This humble monk merely plans for the prince's future. For destiny. Future? Destiny. Your destiny talk is going to get my head separated from my body. Years ago, This monk promised to give your highness a white hat. A white hat. Sounds innocent, right? Except in Chinese, the character for king, Wang, with a white a on top becomes emperor. He's not offering a hat. He's offering a crown. Your highness need only watch and wait in Beiping. The future will unfold as heaven intends. Your highness has the bearing of an emperor. Zhu Di's face cycles through about 15 emotions. Fear, ambition, guilt about his father, guilt about his brother. And underneath it all, burning like a furnace, desire. The voice belongs to a man sitting cross-legged in the dark, spinning prayer beads, wearing black monk robes, looking like the calmest person in the entire Ming dynasty. Yao Guangxiao, the black-robed monk, the single most dangerous advisor in Chinese history, the man who whispered a prince into becoming an emperor, the architect of the Jingnan Rebellion. If I could see him right now, I'd recognize him immediately from my history books and probably scream. Because this quiet, smiling monk is the reason the entire Ming dynasty gets flipped upside down in about 10 years. And right now, he just heard MY name for the first time. A reincarnator with a stat system, a future rebel emperor, and a scheming monk who topples dynasties. This timeline is about to get very interesting. Night falls over the northern frontier. We're deep in Jurchen territory now, creeping through the darkness toward a settlement called the Blue Banner Tribe. My scouts are moving like ghosts. No noise, no torches, nothing. Lu Lei appears out of the dark, dragging 2 Jurchen scouts by their collars like a cat, bringing home dead birds. Commander, caught 2 sentries. They hit the ground in front of me. One of them is glaring at me with pure hatred. The other looks like he's about to soil his leather pants. I ask. You answer. I say calmly. The angry one spits at me. Kill me then. You Ming dogs. One day our tribe and the great Yuan will crush your pathetic empire. I don't argue. I don't negotiate. I don't even change my expression. My saber comes out. One swing. His head rolls across the grass. Killed Jurchen soldier. Picked up 20 strength. I turn to the second one. I ask. You answer. I'll talk. I'll talk. Smart choice. How many soldiers in this settlement? The chief has been gathering forces. There are over 30,000 warriors now. The settlement is a major grazing ground. Nearly 100,000 people spread across the surrounding area. What's your chief's plan? Full defense. No attacks. He's waiting for the great Yuan reinforcements. Good enough? One swing. Killed Jurchen soldier. Picked up 20 spirit. Every 1,000-man commander watching me just went pale. 14 years old, casually beheading prisoners mid-interrogation like I'm slicing vegetables for dinner. But this isn't cruelty, it's math. We're 5,000 men 100 miles deep in enemy territory. Letting prisoners go means they report our position, our numbers, our direction. Every tongue we release is a death sentence for my soldiers. Gentlemen, thoughts? I've got 4,000-man commanders plus Zhang Wu, who's temporarily running my original company. Wei Quan is here, my old garrison commander, now serving under me. Funny how that works. The other 3 are new faces. Li Tao, Zhuang Wei, and Luo Hua. Li Tao immediately opens his mouth. Commander, I think we should just patrol around the edges of their territory. Make some noise. Stall for time. Then go home. Zhang Wu gives him a look that could curdle milk. That's your plan? Wander around and hope for the best. We're 100 miles inside enemy territory. You think they're just going to let us stroll around? The Jurchens have 30,000 soldiers. The northern Yuan is sending reinforcements. If we sit still, we get surrounded and annihilated. Then what do you suggest? Li Tao snaps. We only have 5,000 men. We can't exactly attack a settlement with 30,000 defenders. Actually, I say, and everyone turns to look at me. That's exactly what we're going to do. Li Tao stares at me like I just grew a second head. Commander, you heard the prisoner. 30,000. We have 5. Attacking is suicide. I don't respond to him. I just stand there quietly, waiting. This seems to annoy Li Tao even more, but he's smart enough not to push it further when I outrank him. Right on cue, my scout team comes galloping back through the darkness. Commander, we've mapped the settlement. It's structured as one main tribe with 4 satellite camps, north, south, east, and west. Each satellite camp serves as a defensive buffer. If one gets attacked, the others send reinforcements. Classic mutual support formation. These barbarians actually learned some strategy, I mutter, genuinely impressed. For buffer camps protecting a central stronghold? That's not primitive. That's textbook defensive positioning. Commander, what's the plan? Zhang Wu asks. I turn to Li Tao. He tenses. What? You want to leave? Fine. I'll grant your wish. His eyes narrow. What do you mean? 1 hour from now, you take your 1,000 cavalry and hit the southern satellite camp. I don't need you to conquer it. I don't need you to hold it. Just cause chaos. Make noise. Set fires. Draw their attention south. Make them chase you. After that, if you want to stay and fight with us, the merit is yours. If you want to take your men and ride back to Daning, you can go. No desertion charges. Your attack buys your exit. Fair trade. Li Tao stares at me for a long time. Everyone's watching. You're really going to get all these men killed, aren't you? I'm giving you a choice. Stay or go. Then I choose go. I won't throw my brother's lives away on a suicide mission. I expected that. Some men see danger and charge forward. Others see danger and calculate the exit. Li Tao is a calculator. Not a coward exactly, but not the kind of officer I need for what's coming next. I turn to the others. Same offer goes for all of you. After Li Tao's diversion, anyone who wants out can ride south with him. No punishment. No grudge. Wei Quan steps forward. I'm staying, Luo Hua. Staying, Zhang Wu. Obviously staying, Zhuang Wei. With you to the end, Commander, 4 out of 5. I'll take those odds. I look back at Li Tao one final time. You have your orders. 1 hour. Hit the southern camp. Create a distraction, then you're free to go. But if you half-ass this attack or miss your window, I will hold you accountable under military law. We clear. He swallows hard and nods. Good. Because while Li Tao is banging on the front door, I'm going to take 4,000 cavalry around to the back. These Jurchens think their 4-camp defense is clever. They haven't met someone who can see through it like glass. After giving Li Tao his orders, I take 4,000 cavalry and melt into the darkness, circling north around the entire Jurchen settlement. The plan is simple. Li Tao bangs on the front door. I kick in the back door. While we're riding through the pitch-black northern steppe, nothing but crickets and the occasional wolf howl that makes my new soldiers grip their reins a little tighter. Li Tao is sitting with his cavalry on the south side, probably counting down the minutes until he can run home. His vice commanders actually have the guts to question him. Sir, are we really leaving after this? Shouldn't we stay and fight? Li Tao shoots them a death glare. You want to die with that kid? Be my guest. I'm not throwing away my men's lives for some teenager's glory fantasy. Then he lays out his master plan. Ride close, shoot some arrows. The second the Jurchens react, turn around and gallop back to Daning like the wind is on fire. Bold strategy, Li Tao. Truly inspiring leadership. I'm sure they'll write songs about you. Meanwhile, on the north side, my scouts confirm we're approaching the northern satellite camp. I can see the faint glow of campfires through the darkness. It's almost time. I turn to face my soldiers. For 1,000 cavalry, barely visible in the moonlight, every single one of them staring at me. Brothers, we're standing in enemy territory. The Yuan Empire wants to crush us. These Jurchens want to join them and slaughter our families. They want to do what the Mongols did, treat our people like insects under their boots. Every soldier is perfectly still, listening. If we don't pin these Jurchens down here, they'll march south and link up with the Yuan. When that happens, it's our villages that burn, our families that die, our people who suffer. This fight isn't for glory. It's for home. Will you follow me? To the death, Commander. For 1,000 voices, suppressed to a fierce whisper, louder than any scream. When I was a 1,000-man commander, I made a promise. I will always charge first. If I retreat, any of you can take my head. That promise stands tonight. My bodyguards will carry torches. Follow the flames. That's where I'll be, at the front. If we break through this camp, we shatter the Jurchen's northern defense, and they'll be too busy chasing US to help the northern Yuan. If we fail, I die with you. No exceptions. Ready? Ready. Check your bows. Prepare to attack. Wei Quan frowns. Commander, aren't we supposed to wait for Li Tao's diversion first? Let him draw their attention south before we hit the north. The other commanders look confused too. I smile. Think about it. If you were the Jurchens, and you knew the Ming army was to your south, would you send troops out to chase a small raiding party? Or would you hunker down behind your walls? The realization hits them all at the same time. They wouldn't chase Li Tao. They'd just defend. Exactly. Li Tao attacks first. The Jurchens tighten their southern defense. Nothing changes. But If we attack the north first, the Jurchens think it's just harassment. Annoying, but manageable. Then, when Li Tao hits the south, that's when they panic. They'll think the main Ming army is attacking from the south. They'll pull everything to defend that direction. And that leaves the north wide open for us to punch straight through. Every commander's eyes light up. Now they get it. Pass the word down. This is a full cavalry charge. No stopping. No turning back. Once we're inside, set everything on fire. Kill everything that moves. We ride through this camp and out the other side. Yes, commander. Orders cascade down the chain, from commanders to vice commanders to 100-man officers, all the way down to every individual rider. Silent, efficient, professional. I stare at the Jurchen camp ahead. Compared to the heavily guarded southern camp with its night patrols and alert sentries, this northern settlement is practically asleep. A few watchtowers with board guards. A wooden fence. Campfires burning low. They put all their soldiers on the south side because that's where they expect the Ming army to come from. Nobody expects an attack from the north. Why would they? The north is deeper into their own territory. What kind of insane person would circle around behind them? This kind of insane person. I urge my horse forward, slow and quiet. Lule and 50 bodyguards fall in behind me. 4,000 cavalry spread into attack formation, ghosts in the moonlight. Up on the watchtowers, 2 Jurchen sentries are chatting. Hey, you awake? How can I sleep? The Ming army is right there. Relax. If they attack, they'll hit the south camp. General Agunu moved all the heavy forces down there. We're perfectly safe up here, but what if they go around? Go around? Through our own territory? You're seeing ghosts. They both laugh. And that's when I rise in my stirrups, knock an arrow on my treasure-carved bow, and whisper, kill. Thwip, 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 multiple arrows from a single draw. My divine arrow barrage technique fires 3 shots in the time it takes a normal archer to shoot 1. Each arrow flies to a different watchtower with 600+ strength points behind it. The sentries who were laughing 2 seconds ago now have arrows through their throats. They slump over without making a sound. Every watchtower facing us goes dark and silent in the span of a single heartbeat. The gate is unguarded. The alarm is unraised. 4,000 cavalry are 200 meters from an enemy camp that doesn't know they exist. I raise my saber. Time to knock. Killed Jurchen sentry. Picked up 20 strength. Killed Jurchen sentry. Picked up 20 speed. Killed Jurchen sentry. Picked up 20 for notifications before my horse even reaches the gate. My divine arrow barrage technique is doing nasty work tonight. Multiple arrows from a single draw, each one finding a throat in the darkness like heat-seeking missiles made of hate. The watchtower guards are dead before they can blink. Kill. Slaughter the Jurchens. Charge. 4,000 voices erupt behind me as my cavalry opens fire. Arrows arc into the night sky like a swarm of angry stars and rain down into the camp. Jurchens who were peacefully sleeping in their tents 3 seconds ago are now getting perforated through their blankets. The sentries who are still alive start slamming alarm bells and screaming. Enemy attack. The Ming are here. Someone tell the general. They didn't come from the south. They came from the north. How? Nobody comes from the north. Well, surprise. Their defenders scramble together in front of the main gate, shooting arrows blindly into the dark because they can't even see us. Their defense is an absolute joke. I'm at the front of the charge. Obviously, because I promised. Follow me. Kill everything. Arrows come flying at me from behind the gate. My fine steel long saber blurs through the air, swatting them aside like mosquitoes. 600 points of strength means I can literally deflect arrows with my blade. The front gate is barricaded. Heavy wooden doors, reinforced, with barricades piled up in front. A few dozen Jurchen soldiers are bracing against it from the inside. Cute. I activate the wild dance saber technique. 1 swing, but the blade moves so fast it becomes 15 slashes compressed into a single heartbeat. The entire gate explodes into splinters. Just gone. Reduced to sawdust. The soldiers behind it get blasted off their feet by the shockwave alone. I ride through the wreckage without slowing down. Kill. My saber falls. Heads fly. Body split. Every swing carries over 600 G of force. That's like being hit by a horse going full speed, except the horse is made of steel and has a sharp edge. Killed Jurchen infantry. Picked up 20 endurance. Killed Jurchen infantry. Picked up 20 strength. The Jurchens in front of me aren't soldiers anymore. They're obstacles. And my saber doesn't know the difference between a wooden door and a human body. Everything gets cut the same way, instantly and completely. Even the ones I don't hit directly are dying. The air pressure from my swings is so violent that soldiers standing next to my target get their organs ruptured from the shockwave. They're coughing blood and falling over without me touching them. I am no longer a human being fighting other human beings. I am a natural disaster with a ponytail. Ming soldiers, follow me. I raise my blood-soaked saber and roar. Behind me, 50 bodyguards light their torches, blazing beacons in the night that 4,000 cavalry can follow like moths to a very violent flame. Follow the commander. Kill. Wei Quan, Zhuang Wei, Zhang Wu. Every commander screams the order. 4,000 riders funnel through the gap I tore in the gate, forming a single devastating column of death, and pour into the Jurchen camp like water through a broken dam. Kill the Jurchens, burn everything. The night fills with fire, screaming, and the thundering of hooves. My soldiers are cutting down everything that moves. Tents get trampled. Fire spread. The entire northern settlement is turning into an inferno. And none of my soldiers realize why they feel so strong tonight. Why their arms don't tire. Why their courage never wavers. Why they feel like they could fight for hours without stopping. It's my authority seal. 60% boost to combat power. 60% boost to morale. 60% boost to endurance. Every single rider in this charge is fighting at nearly double their normal capacity, and they think it's just adrenaline. Nope. It's your commander's invisible cheat code, aura. You're welcome. I keep swinging. Every kill pumps more stats into my body. I'm getting stronger in real time while cutting through their camp. The soldiers at the beginning of this charge could maybe block one of my swings. The soldiers at the end of this charge? They couldn't block me if they tried with a wall. Meanwhile, at the main Blue Banner settlement, General Aganu is having a very bad night. He was, shall we say, riding his horse inside his private tent, and not the kind of horse with 4 legs, when a messenger comes screaming outside. General, emergency. The Ming are attacking the northern camp. Aganu has to stop. Horseback riding. Get dressed and stumble outside with a face like a man who just got the world's worst interruption. How did they get to the north? That's our heartland. Are they insane? He can't figure out my strategy. He positioned his heavy forces at the south camp. Reinforcements east and west. Classic defensive formation. Any rational attacker would hit the south first. But I'm not rational. I'm a transmigrator with a stat panel who gets stronger from killing people. Rationality left the building a long time ago. Agunu starts to wonder if this is a feint. A distraction. Maybe the real attack is coming from the south? Send 5,000 soldiers to reinforce the northern camp, he orders. And right as those words leave his mouth, General, urgent. The Ming are attacking the southern camp too, Li Tao. Right on schedule. That beautiful, cowardly, reliable man just launched his diversionary attack on the south side. Now Agunu's brain is melting. North and south at the same time. Where's the main attack? Where does he send his troops? North? South? Split them? Keep them together? Exactly the confusion I wanted. While he's standing there trying to figure out which direction to panic in, I'm 3 miles away, riding through his burning northern settlement, stacking kills like poker chips, getting stronger with every swing of my blade. This is going perfectly. Back at the main Jurchen camp, General Agunu is having what I can only describe as the worst strategic decision of his career. See, when he heard Ming army attacking the north, followed almost immediately by Ming army attacking the south, his big brain kicked in. Huh? I see through their trick. The northern attack is a decoy. The real attack is coming from the south. They want me to send reinforcements north, so the south is undefended. Classic misdirection. He cancels the northern reinforcements and sends extra troops to the south instead. Standing there all smug, stroking his chin like a genius. These Ming fools think they can outsmart me? I am the chief's most trusted warrior. I can read their strategy like an open book. Plot twist, Agunu. The book is upside down and you're reading it backwards. The real attack at the south? That's Li Tao, who shot approximately 12 arrows, went, okay, that's enough, turned his horse around, and galloped toward Daning at maximum cowardly speed. Classic Li Tao. The decoy at the north? That's me. with 4,000 screaming cavalry pouring through a shattered gate into a settlement of 30,000 people like a river of steel and fire. Thank you for sending your troops the wrong direction, Agunu. Very helpful. Would recommend your military consulting services to all my enemies. Meanwhile, I'm inside the northern camp doing what I do best, turning Jurchens into stat points at an industrial scale. My saber hasn't stopped moving since I entered this settlement. Swing, kill, swing, kill, swing, kill. It's not even combat anymore. It's harvesting. Killed Jurchen infantry. Picked up 20 strength. Killed Jurchen infantry. Picked up 40 days lifespan. All stats exceed 600. Reward, 1 normal treasure chest. 600 across the board. In less than 15 minutes of fighting. The stat milestone hits me like an energy drink mixed with lightning. All fatigue disappears. Every muscle resets to maximum. It's like hitting the refresh button on my entire body. And I don't. Slow. Down. Brothers. Burn this place to the ground. Kill everything. Charge. My bodyguards pull out reserve torches and start hurling fire at every tent, every structure, every piece of fabric they can find. The whole settlement erupts into a sea of flame. The night sky turns orange. You could probably see this fire from 50 miles away. Inside the camp, it's pure chaos. Jurchen civilians are screaming, running in every direction. Their soldiers are stumbling out of burning tents half-dressed, grabbing weapons, trying to form defensive lines. But we're already inside. There's no line to form. There's no wall to hide behind. It's just 4,000 Ming cavalry rampaging through their home like a tornado made of swords. I'm the tip of the spear, the dragon's head. Every Jurchen I see gets one swing. That's all it takes. 600 points of strength behind a fine steel long saber means bodies don't just fall, they come apart. The soldiers behind me don't even need to fight most of the time. They're just riding through the carnage I've already created. My soldiers are performing beyond anything they should be capable of, by the way. They've been riding and fighting for hours and nobody's tired. Nobody's scared. Nobody's flagging. They probably think it's adrenaline or divine blessing or something. It's my authority seal. 60% buff to everything. These men are basically playing the game on easy mode, and they don't even know the cheat codes are on. We ride through the entire settlement like a hot knife through butter. In one side, out the other. Everything behind us is burning. The Jurchens try to stop us. They really did. But their northern camp only had a few thousand defenders. Most of them were asleep when we hit, and by the time they organized any kind of resistance, we were already past them. An hour later, a messenger reaches Agunu at the main camp. Sir, the south attack. It was fake. They shot some arrows and left. Agunu's face goes white. In the north, the Ming broke through. They killed everyone. They burned everything. Over 10,000 dead, sir. The settlement is destroyed. 10,000? We couldn't stop them. They rode straight through like a single column. Their leader cut through our defenses like they were made of paper. How many Ming soldiers were there? We don't know. It was dark. They came as one line. We couldn't count. Did you kill any of them? We. The man can't answer. Because we moved so fast and hit so hard that the defenders barely got a swing in before we were already gone. Chase them, Agunu screams, veins popping. They're deep in our territory. They can't escape. Find them and tear them apart. He sends his General Newlin with a pursuit force, howling for blood. The entire Jurchen command structure has gone from relaxed defense to murder the Ming in about 30 minutes. Good. That's exactly what I want. Every Jurchen soldier chasing me is a Jurchen soldier not marching south to help the northern Yuan attack Daning. 20 miles north of the burning settlement, I raise my hand. Halt. 4,000 blood-soaked cavalry pull up. Every single one of them looks like they just crawled out of a slaughterhouse. Armor painted red. Weapons dripping. Horses foaming. But their eyes? Their eyes are alive. Not a trace of fear. These men just rode through an enemy camp of 30,000 people and came out the other side like it was a morning exercise. Count heads. Every 100-man unit. Report your numbers. Now, the commanders relay the order. The counting begins. Somewhere behind us, a Jurchen settlement is still burning. Ahead of us, a vast empty steppe stretches to the horizon. And behind that, a very angry general is gathering a pursuit force to hunt us down. Perfect. Let them come. Every pursuer is another stat point waiting to happen. The head count comes in, and I'm grinning. Commander, 1st Cavalry Company, all 1,000 present. 58 wounded. 2nd Company, all 1,000 present. 89 wounded. 3rd, 4th, same story. Every single company reports in. Wounded? Yes. Dead? 0. 4,000 cavalry charged through an enemy settlement of 30,000 people in the middle of the night, killed everything in their path, burned the place to ashes, and rode out the other side without losing a single soldier. Brothers, I shout, raising my saber. We did it. We rode straight through a Jurchen stronghold and came out clean. Every one of you is a hero of the Ming dynasty. To the death for the commander, for 1,000 blood-soaked warriors screaming my name under the morning sky. Every single one of them is looking at me with a kind of devotion that money can't buy and threats can't force. I earned this. With my blade, my body, and my willingness to charge in first. Zhang Wu. Take 100 riders, ride rear guard. Watch for pursuit. Rotate every half hour. Everyone else, dismount. Treat the wounded. Rest for 90 minutes. We move after that. Yes, Commander. They all dismount and collapse into the grass like puppets whose strings got cut. Every man is exhausted. Every man except me. I sit down, pull out some dried rations, and call up my panel. Strength, 978 speed, 889 constitution, 712 endurance, 734 spirit, 723 lifespan, 88 years, 2,356 days storage, 7 cubic meters. I have to read these numbers twice because they look like a typo. Nearly 1,000 points of strength. That's 1,000 gene of force in a single punch. I could hit a city gate and turn it into firewood. I could pick up a horse and throw it. I could arm wrestle a siege engine and win. My speed is almost 900, 8 times faster than a normal human. When I swing my saber once, a regular person sees 8 slashes. Not because I'm doing some fancy technique. My basic swing is just that fast now. Constitution over 700. Wounds close in minutes. Arrows barely penetrate my skin anymore. I'm not wearing armor for protection. I'm wearing it so people don't notice that I don't need armor. And my lifespan? I've gained over 6.5 years of extra life since this whole adventure started. I'm 14 years old with a projected lifespan of 94 and climbing. At this rate, I'll hit 100 before my next birthday. All this from one night raid. Over 200 personal kills. The stat gains are obscene. I'm not human anymore. Not really. I'm something new. Something this world has never seen. And I'm not even tired. My endurance and spirit stats are so high that pulling an all-nighter of constant combat feels like a casual morning jog. While my entire army is collapsing from exhaustion around me, I could go run a marathon and still have energy to spare. Now, treasure chests. 2 chests from the 600 and 700 stat milestones. Every 100 points across all stats gives me 1. These milestones are coming fast now. Open all. Chest 1. Yellow grade mid-tier, Tiger Roar technique. I extract it immediately. The knowledge pours into my mind, and, this technique lets you unleash a roar with the devastating power of a tiger. A sonic attack that can shatter morale and even physically damage enemies. But there's a catch. It requires internal energy. Qi. True inner force. Wait, does that mean at some point my stats get high enough that I actually develop QI? Like a real cultivation novel, the technique works partially with pure physical power. I can produce the roar, but without internal energy, it's like driving a sports car in first gear. The real power is locked behind a wall I haven't broken through yet. But someday my stats will reach whatever threshold unlocks true Qi, and then I become a real cultivator. In a world where nobody else can cultivate. The only martial arts master on the entire planet. I can wait. Chest 2. Violent diarrhea powder, times 10 large bags. I stare at this for a solid 5 seconds. The system just gave me 10 industrial-sized bags of laxatives. Really? I'm out here fighting for my life in enemy territory, and you give me diarrhea powder. But you know what? I'll take it. Because next time we're near a Jurchen water source, I'm dumping all of this in. Let them try to chase me when their entire army is fighting a war on 2 fronts. One against the Ming dynasty and one against their own intestines. Biological warfare, baby. Sun Tzu never wrote about this, but he should have. Wei Quan walks up with the completed battle report. I scan it, nod, and add one line. Tell the prefect not to worry. We'll hold every Jurchen in the north right here. He ties it to a carrier pigeon and releases it into the sky. The bird wings southward toward Daning. Go rest, I tell Wei Quan. I'll keep watch, because I don't need sleep. Not tonight. Maybe not ever again at this rate. I stand up and start walking the perimeter, checking on soldiers, scanning the horizon. Behind us, the glow of the burning Jurchen settlement is still visible against the lightning sky. Ahead, the vast empty steppe stretches endlessly north. Somewhere out there, General Aganu is screaming for blood. He's probably already sent pursuit forces. Good. Let them come. Every rider they send after me is a rider not heading south. That's the whole point. I'm the shiny object, the distraction, the thorn in their side that they can't ignore. And every time they try to pull me out, I just dig in deeper. Meanwhile, 1,000 miles south in Daning Prefecture, something big is happening. At the gates of Daning City, Prefect Buwan is bowing low to welcome someone. An old general, surrounded by elite guards and trailing a parade of senior commanders. The Emperor's main army has arrived. The real war is about to begin. And I'm stuck in the middle of Jurchen territory with 4,000 men, 10 bags of diarrhea powder, and stats that are about to break 1,000. Life is beautiful. While I'm out here in Jurchen territory living my best stat farming life, things are happening back in Daning that I won't find out about until later. But since it's my story, let me tell you what went down. The Duke of Song, Feng Sheng, has arrived in Daning. The Feng Sheng, one of the founding generals of the Ming dynasty. The Gai Emperor Zhu Yuanzhang personally chose to lead 200,000 soldiers against Nahachu. This man has been winning wars since before most current soldiers were born. He shows up at the prefectural office with 1,000 elite bodyguards and a parade of senior commanders trailing behind him like the world's most dangerous entourage. Prefect Buwan bows so deep he's practically kissing the floor. Welcome, Duke. Feng Sheng wastes zero time on pleasantries. What's the situation? Buwan gives him the full briefing. The northern Yuan has already attacked the border city of Huizhou, but 2,000 Ming defenders are holding the walls. The Jurchens are contained in the north. The main Daning army split. One force went east to raid Yuan territory in Liaodong, and a smaller cavalry force stayed behind in the northern steppe to pin down the Jurchens. Then Feng Sheng asks the question I'd love to hear. What about that Zhuing kid? The one who killed 103 enemies? Where is he? Buwan smiles. Actually, the strategy to split forces and raid Liaodong? That was his idea. And the cavalry force staying behind to pin the Jurchens? He volunteered for that mission. He's currently commanding 5,000 cavalry deep in Jurchen territory. The kid's got guts and brains. Feng Sheng nods approvingly. And then, because the universe has terrible timing, a messenger walks in. Military report from Ansha County, sir. Buwan opens it, and his face falls. Zhu Ying got reckless. He hands the report to Feng Sheng, who reads it and frowns. Using 1,000 cavalry as a feint while sending 4,000 to night raid a fortified settlement with tens of thousands of defenders? That's a suicide charge, not a strategy. If I were commanding, I'd harass from a distance. Never engage directly. Just stall. Here's the beautiful part. That report? It was written by Litao. The coward who took his 1,000 men and ran back to Daning the second his little diversion was done. And of course he wrote the report to make himself look innocent and me look like a reckless maniac who was going to get everyone killed. He's too aggressive, Li Tao probably wrote. I tried to advise caution, but he wouldn't listen. I had no choice but to withdraw my forces to preserve lives. Translation. I was scared so I left, and now I'm preemptively blaming the teenager in case he dies and someone asks questions. Weasel. And now Feng Sheng, one of the greatest military minds in China, is sitting there thinking I'm a brave idiot who charged headfirst into a meat grinder. Buwan is picturing 4,000 soldiers getting massacred. Both of them are mentally writing my obituary. Such a waste, Feng Sheng sighs. A young warrior of exceptional courage, but lacking the wisdom to command. He only knows how to fight, not how to lead. Buddy, I didn't just charge blindly into that camp. I used a coordinated two-pronged feint that exploited the enemy commander's own assumptions, attacked from the direction they least expected, timed the diversion to maximize confusion, and rode through a 30,000-person settlement without losing a single soldier. But Li Tao's report conveniently left out the part where my plan worked perfectly. Can we contact him? Fengsheng asks. Tell him to pull back immediately. The main army, 200,000 strong, will be assembled in Daning within 10 days. We don't need him to hold the north anymore. I'll send riders to find him, Buwan says. They're both looking grim, convinced I'm either dead or about to be. And right at that moment, urgent. Carrier pigeon from Deputy Garrison Commander Zhu Ying. Buwan's eyebrows shoot up. He has pigeons. His aide explains. He requested carrier pigeons from General Chun Hung before departing. For communications, Feng Sheng's disappointed frown cracks into a small smile. If he's sending messages, he's alive. Bring it here. Now, the soldier rushes forward with my message. The one I wrote this morning while sitting in the grass eating dried rations, casually reviewing my stats after burning an entire Jurchen settlement to the ground and killing over 200 people in a single night without losing a man. They haven't read it yet, but when they do, Li Tao's little, Zhu Ying is reckless and suicidal. Narrative is about to get absolutely demolished. Because my report doesn't say, help, we're trapped. My report says, mission accomplished. Settlement destroyed. Thousands of enemy casualties. 0 friendly deaths. Don't worry about us. Oh, and I also included a section about Li Tao abandoning his post. Because if that rat thinks he can badmouth me and steal credit from my soldiers while hiding behind safe walls, he's got another thing coming. Nobody steals from my boys. Nobody. Buwan takes my carrier pigeon message, glances at it, and then remembers. Oh wait, Feng Sheng is here now. He's the boss. So he hands the report over with a respectful bow. Feng Sheng opens it casually, probably expecting a distress signal or a farewell letter. He reads the first line. His eyebrows go up. He reads the second line. His jaw loosens. He finishes the whole thing, and his face goes through 5 different emotions in about 3 seconds before settling on. Absolutely delighted. Good, good, good. It seems I'm getting old. I completely underestimated this Zhu Ying. A feint to the south, a night raid from the north. He caught the Jurchens with their pants down. The Duke of Song, a man who has been winning wars since before my parents were born, is laughing like a kid who just got his birthday present early. Every general in the room is staring at him, dying to know what's in that report. And the roster in this room is insane, by the way. This isn't some border garrison meeting. This is the Ming Dynasty All-Star Team. Feng Sheng, Duke of Song, Supreme Commander. Fu Yud, Duke of Ying, Left Deputy Commander. Lan Yu, Marquis of Yongchang, Right Deputy Commander. Zhao Yong, Marquis of Nanchang. Wang Bai, Marquis of Dingyuan. Hu Hai, Marquis of Donchuan. Chang Mao, Duke of Zheng, son of the legendary Chang Yechen himself. These guys conquered China. They drove out the Mongols. They built an empire from nothing. And right now they're all leaning forward in their chairs because of a report written by a 14-year-old on a piece of paper tied to a bird's leg. What did this Zhu Ying do? Marquis Zhao Yong asks, grinning. Feng Sheng hands the report to his guard captain. Read it. Out loud. The guard captain clears his throat and projects. Deputy Garrison Commander Zhu Ying reports to the prefect. Our 5,000 cavalry are operating deep within Jurchen territory. Scouts confirm the Jurchens are concentrating over 30,000 warriors at their Blue Banner settlement, with Northern Yuan reinforcements incoming. 5,000 against 30,000 and growing. If we simply harass from a distance, the Jurchens will march south and coordinate with the Yuan to attack Daning from both sides. This would compromise the entire campaign to destroy Nahachu. Therefore, I determined that only a decisive strike could disrupt their plans. I divided forces. 1,000-man commander Li Tao was ordered to feint against the southern settlement. I personally led 4,000 cavalry around to the undefended northern settlement and launched a night assault. Result: total surprise achieved. Enemy settlement overrun. Over 10,000 enemy casualties. Our forces sustained wounded but 0 fatalities. All 4,000 soldiers successfully exited the enemy camp. Complete victory. Dead. Silence. Then the room erupts. Buwan's brain short-circuits. He actually did it? And brought everyone out alive? Feng Sheng is beaming. Not just because of the victory, because he was wrong about me. 5 minutes ago, he was calling me a reckless fool with more courage than sense. Now he's reading a battle report that would make seasoned generals weep with envy. We all underestimated him. For 1,000 cavalry raid a settlement, kill 10,000, and come back with 0 dead? Even if they lost 1,000, it would have been impressive. Battle reports require co-signature from the attached military inspector. You literally can't fake these numbers on penalty of death. This is real. It's not just that he's a strong fighter. He can command. Those 4,000 cavalry performed like 10,000 under his leadership. Even accounting for the surprise factor, this level of coordination is extraordinary. They're all stumbling over each other to praise me, and they don't even know about the authority seal. They think it's pure tactical genius. And I mean, it is. But also, having a magical buff that makes your entire army 60% stronger doesn't hurt. Then Feng Sheng turns to Zhao Yong with a quiz question. Marquis, can you explain why Zhu Ying split his forces the way he did? Zhao Yong smiles like a professor who just got asked about his favorite subject. Brilliant, actually. The Jurchens assumed any attack would come from the south, the direction facing Ming territory. So they stacked their defenses there. The north was their own heartland. Why would anyone attack from deeper inside enemy territory? That's suicidal. Zhu Ying attacks the north first. When the Jurchen general gets the report, he thinks, the north attack must be the distraction. The real attack is coming from the south. Then Li Tao hits the south and confirms the general's assumption. So the general sends everything south. Meanwhile, the north camp is completely undefended. Zhu Ying rides through it like a knife through warm tofu. The enemy general outsmarted himself. Zhu Ying didn't just exploit a weakness. He made the enemy create the weakness. Feng Sheng nods, absolutely delighted. Exactly. Buwan is practically glowing. Because I'm technically his subordinate, which means my victories are partly his victories. In front of the Supreme Commander and a room full of legendary generals, his guy just delivered the most impressive independent operation of the entire campaign. Then Feng Sheng's smile vanishes. His face goes cold. If Zhu Ying's report is accurate, and military inspectors don't lie, then that other report we received, he means Li Tao's report. The one that painted me as a reckless maniac who was going to get everyone killed. The one that Li Tao wrote to cover his own cowardly retreat. That was not just inaccurate. It was a deliberate attempt to slander a commanding officer. Buwan's face drains of color. He believed Li Tao's version. He agreed with Feng Sheng that I was foolish. And now the truth is out. Li Tao didn't just abandon his mission. He ran home and tried to make me look bad so nobody would blame him. Disobeying a direct order from a superior officer. Deserting during an active operation. Filing a false military report that defamed a fellow commander. In the Ming dynasty, any one of those is a death sentence. Li Tao committed all three. And my carrier pigeon just delivered the receipt. Enjoy deigning while you can, Li Tao. Because when I get back, you and I are going to have a very short conversation.